Good morning, beautiful people. Hope that you are having a great weekend, and it's Easter weekend, isn't it? So, I just wanted to do a quick live with you guys. Nick Cannon is facing backlash because of a video that he made with Amber Rose. He has since taken this video down, so I have had trouble putting this video together. However, I can play the audio for you because of the amount of I'm not trying to get a copyright or anything to actually play the video, but if you need me to play the video, I'll remake the video for you. Let me take some trade. Let me say this. People that come out as conservative, celebrities that have been coming out as conservative, get so much backlash. We've seen this with Nicki Minaj, with her support over the Trump administration, over her support of Erica Kirk. We see the backlash with, I posted on my community wall with Chili from TLC, how Chili. Good morning, Jerome. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you. I'm just going to be here for a little bit and talk about Nick Cannon. I don't know if you guys seen the clip that he did on his channel, and he's taken it down because of the backlash that he's gotten. But Jerome, thank you for supporting the channel. I appreciate you. I'm gonna go ahead and drop a link right now. Oh, okay, and I'm gonna get into my video because I don't have that much time with you guys. But let me stay on track. I posted on my community wall. If you guys are not on my community wall, look at my community wall because I talk about a lot of things. Chili came out as being a Trump supporter, as if that is a horrible thing, right? And she's apologized for her support over Donald Trump. She's come out saying that she's not MAGA and all of those things. And I just feel that it's just a sad day when people decide they cannot openly support who they want to support and they want to hide that. Kaiser, I missed you guys. I missed you. Kaiser says, hey, MU Deckman. Okay, let me drop a link because I want to make sure I get through what I'm talking about. But I miss you guys. Thank you guys for showing up. Good morning, Act. So first, let me ask you guys this. Did you guys see the clip that I'm about to let you guys hear? Because I'm only going to play the audio. You've been sick? Oh, feel better. Feel better. Oh, Jesus. It's been a while since I've been over here. I keep forgetting how to drop a link for you guys. You haven't heard it? Okay. Now, I don't know that much about Amber Rose. But I'll show you a picture. I don't know that much about Amber Rose. I know that she does support Trump, MAGA. I don't know much about her. I know about Nick Cannon because he does Wild Now. And he was married to Mariah Carey. Nevertheless, what was more important for me was the backlash because I've been paying attention to how they're tearing apart Chili, saying that she should be canceled and all of these things. I think that people are absolutely ridiculous in their stance. I can show you guys my emails and my text messages, which is so draining, of people sending me videos all day of why I should not support the Republican Party. I don't know how I came out as this Trump enthusiast, as this MAGA supporter. I told you guys I'm not MAGA. I stand for the truth and I stand for the Constitution. That's it. And I play videos all day. So I'm not really sure. Good morning, Henny. Good morning. Okay, you guys. Everything got changed for educational for use purposes. Claude, I don't know about so I don't want to speak too hard about Amber because I don't know who she is.
Oh, I know who she is, unfortunately, but that's another story. She's quote unquote slut walk. She started that movement. She's and I know that her and Nick Cannon used to date. They were a thing, but they've remained close.
Okay. Well,
but I digress.
I don't think any of that matters.
Well, no, it really doesn't. I'm just being messy.
I guess so. Let me play this clip for the chat.
By the way.
No,
No, I said I missed being here. I missed you.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna do more until I get things. Good morning, Joy. Good morning,
Well,
my
good morning, everyone. I can't see the chat. I'm terrible with that. I'm sorry, guys.
you guys. I love these loose, more casual style live streams as I start to do more regular streams for you guys. So I do appreciate you guys' support. I want to play this video for you guys. So y'all know what I'm talking about because apparently nobody in the chat heard this video. Oh, hey Justin, hang on, I got you right now. Hi.
Hi.
Hey, my friend.
Okay, let me play this clip for you guys. Again, you guys, I'm not gonna show you the actual video because I don't want to get a copyright on my video. So bear with me. And if you want me to, just tell me in the chat. I will make this video for you, post it for you if you want me to. So let's listen to the audio. Hang on. Okay, hang on.
Part of the Republican Party?
That's right.
Former
Democrat, former liberal. I was a liberal Democrat my whole life.
Is that because the bag has got so intense and so heavy that you had a whole other...
I'll show you this.
The elite now.
Not even close. Not even close. Democrats don't care about black people. And they don't care about people. They don't care about people of color. And the Republicans do, and that's the misconception.
And you know what? I agree with you 100%.
More of them do, but I digress.
Democrats is the party of the KKK.
Yeah.
People don't know that the Republicans...
You guys are talking over my video. Hang on. What did he say? I'm sorry, I did not mean
No,
to say.
I apologize. I was out of pocket.
No, I'm so sorry. I want you guys to hear the video because I'm not showing it to you. So, and I'm not showing it to you because it's not on the act. Let me get you my video. He's gonna get you my video. I'm sorry. My apologies.
No, it's okay.
The elite now.
Not even close. Not even close. Democrats don't care about black people. And they don't care about people. They don't care about people of color. And the Republicans do, and that's the misconception.
And you know what? I agree with you 100%. People don't know that the Democrats are the party of the KKK.
Yep.
People don't know that the Republicans are the party that freed the slaves.
Yeah.
I mean, mostly you and I have some conservative views. You just a little bit more outspoken about it than I am. And I honestly, I don't subscribe to neither party. I rock with W.E.B. Du Bois when he said,
Oh shoot, I just clicked off the video. I just clicked off the video on accident. Dang it. Okay. Anyways, you guys kind of got the gist of it. Hey Lawrence, I appreciate you. I really wanted to and I'm so sorry, Claude. I get so much of these videos.
It's fine.
I was not trying to be rude, but it was an intense moment because so Nick Cannon goes on to say, Lawrence, thank you, Lawrence, and I will be back more, but I'll be back over here until I do my verticals again. But listen, Nick Cannon, a black man, would you guys call him a comedian? I don't know. Goes on. What did I
Sorry. I'm sorry.
I want you guys to hear this. Nick Cannon gets all of this backlash because he tells the truth about the Republican Party. Did you guys get that part of the video?
Yes, I did.
You got
I heard it.
So, where's the lie? Are the Republicans not responsible for the civil rights of black people?
Who do you want to answer first?
I'm sorry?
Who did you want to answer first?
I'll answer. Yes.
Of course you are.
Yes, they are. They are responsible for passing reparations that people like to talk about. More so, they're responsible. Of course, the Democratic Party denied it. Obama was the last president that denied it. The Republicans are responsible for a lot of the things. Nick Cannon was not wrong in what he said, but because he spoke the truth about the Republican Party, you got clowns like Roland Martin, who comes on criticizing him. You have the Breakfast Club criticizing Nick Cannon. You have a lot of other people. I found a lot of problems with their commentary. I feel that anytime you come out and say, hey, this is what the Republican Party stands for, they're not this big racist group, then you get the backlash. Look at Chili from TLC coming back. I'm sorry, I supported Donald Trump. Listen, I find it problematic. What's good, Doc?
Hey, I just wanted to come up here and say hey to everybody before I
Hey,
go to sleep.
Doc.
The DOC.
Yeah. Hope everybody's having a blessed day. I'm about to hit the hay soon, but I just wanted to pop in and say hey, MU. Hope you're having a good week. Hey, guys.
Have a good week.
I'll take over.
Yeah. Did you guys heard the
Oh,
full?
pleasure, my brother.
But I'm gonna drop down. I'm just gonna listen and
Oh, I hope you're
go to sleep.
Feel
I
better.
feeling okay, white guy, and I hope that you are that your morning is going well.
Yeah, no, it's been a rough patch, man. But
I'm
I'll probably
sorry.
talk to you about it later.
Okay,
So,
okay, get some
all
rest.
right, alrighty, later.
Later.
His titles and the things that he comes up with cracks me up, and his clips on my community wall about Trump cracks me up, especially my Trump cupcake.
And that King Trump. I'm gonna get him for that, but that's another one. That's for another time.
Okay, go ahead, you guys. Let me.
Oh, you okay? I guess I'm going first, huh? No one said that Nick Cannon was wrong. The problem is, number one, they're both playing in our faces. You know, I've said that 1,000,001 times. It's just 1,000,002. And number two, you're talking about back in the 1860s.
Yeah.
This is not the same Republican Party, but I digress. Now, I don't trust either one, as I mentioned before. I don't care for the Democrats. In fact, you've heard me say 1,000,000 times that the Democratic Party is in huge trouble. Have I not said that?
Yes. Many times.
The Republican Party, listen, obviously everybody and their mother knows that I'm not a huge fan of well, he's not orange. I know misunderstood will remind me he's not orange. Now he is a distinct peach, however. But there have been many times where I've agreed with him, and then there's been many other times where it's like, you've got to be kidding me. And we all know that he is one of the most narcissistic people on the planet Earth. But that being said, I have a bigger problem with these celebrities not standing in what they truly believe in, and they're worried about getting backlash because they might
Did
lose
you
a
re-
few quote unquote fans. If
did
you
you really
believe in
expect that?
something enough, you stand in it no matter what. I have to give, and here's the thing too. When it comes to Nicki Minaj, you know, it's one thing to have backlash if you feel a certain way about the government or what have you. But Nicki Minaj was getting backlash because she was trying to find her way in Christianity. To me, that is a huge red flag. Somebody's spiritual journey is that person's spiritual journey. And for her to get backlash because of that, and to have people criticize her because she wants a relationship with the God that she understands, to me, that is absolutely ridiculous.
Well, she has the wrong perspective, you know. So they have to get her on something. And you know the Democratic Party are not exactly is not exactly the party that has faith. You might say, well, it's well, faith is relative. One is as good as the other.
I I agree. Access, I'm progressive, but I commit that the Dems lack leadership. They have leadership, but weak right now. And I say that, I'm not going to get into it tonight, but I was watching this video. I mean, the things that is excused right now by the Democratic Party, we have all these things. They don't want to tackle fraud. They don't want to tackle a lot of the problems that is going on. And I'm not going to say just the Democratic Party. I see problems on both sides, to keep it honest with you. But what I don't like is the backlash. I mean, when the Republicans come out and say, "Hey, you know what? We want to talk about the fraud with with the Somalians. We want to talk about, how some of these funds are being spent and the loose, oh my God, these crimes, right? The lack of the light sentences for these crimes when it comes to these. I don't know if you guys saw the immigrants that got like 5 years after unaliving someone, 5 years for taking a life, right? That should never happen, but nobody wants to talk about that. So there's a lot of things that we need to talk about. At least Trump is consistent. Check out his plan for Iran from 1987, and he still hasn't wavered. Trump is no, if nothing else, Donald Trump is consistent, Lawrence. He absolutely is. So for Nick Cannon to get so much backlash, I find it problematic because I don't see. Did you guys see when they started? Did I play when he was talking about the KKK? Did it go that far before I accidentally clicked off on it?
Oh, I think
You did say that the Democratic Party was the party of the KKK. I clearly heard Nick Cannon say that.
Okay, let's listen again.
Oh yeah.
Former Democrat, former liberal. I was a liberal Democrat my whole life.
Is that because the bag has got so heavy that you got a whole other the elite now?
Not even close. Not even close. Democrats don't care about black people. And they don't care about people. They don't care about people of color. And the Republicans do, and that's the misconception.
And you know what? I agree with you 100%.
Thank you.
People don't know that the Democrats are the party of the KKK.
Yep.
People don't know that the Republicans are the party that freed the slaves.
Yep.
I mean, both of you and I have some conservative views. You just a little bit more outspoken about it than I am. And I honestly don't subscribe to either party. I rock with W.E.B. Du Bois when he said there's no such thing as two parties. It's just one evil party with two different names. So
yeah, I mean, look, I listen. I'm not married to any party.
Right.
I voted for Donald Trump because we had two options, and he was definitely by far the better option for us. And as of now, I agree with a lot of things that he's doing.
Well, clean it out.
Yeah.
But you know what he said he was.
Guess what? If there's a time where I don't agree, I'll say I don't agree.
Yeah. We got the Gulf of America now.
Period.
He's charging, he's like the club. He's charging a $5 million bottle service fee to get into the country.
I know. Listen.
All right, that does make me laugh. That part makes me laugh because it's just that makes me laugh. Now again, I'm not familiar with Amber Rose. Okay, Doc, I'm praying for you. I'm not familiar with Amber Rose, but I don't. Now, part of that clip that I didn't show because I can't find it to show you guys. But I saw the original, but when I went to click it for the video, Nick Cannon took it down. You gotta weird back. Nick Cannon took it down because Amber Rose did go on to say some things that I found kind of strange about. She goes on, I think one of the controversial things when I was researching Amber Rose is she feels that, white should be able to say the N-word and stuff like that. I think she's silly in that sense because I don't even like black saying it. I feel like if one group can't say it, another group shouldn't say it. Just leave it alone. Who cares? Nevertheless, with Nick Cannon, nothing he said was incorrect. Nothing. So for people to want to rewrite history and say that he needs to be canceled and he's wrong, and you got these people with really large platforms coming against Nick Cannon, I don't think Nick Cannon cares, number one. And I think that people need to get out of their feelings, face history for what it is, stop trying to make the Republican Party and conservatives out to be something they're not, and just deal with it. Deal with it. Go ahead, you guys. I'll go on mute. That's how I feel about it.
Well, I don't think history matters anymore, really, in that context. I think the Democratic Party can say, well, it used to be, but it's not now. Uh, whether that's true or not.
What used to be? What do you mean?
Well, it used to be the party of the KKK. It used to be, forced slavery, but
Oh
it's
yeah,
not.
I can
It's
say
not
yeah.
now.
That's a good
So
argument to say it used to
yeah,
be.
so they can pretty much say whatever, it can be dumbed down to that, and you could say, well, maybe they're right. I'm not convinced they're right, but yeah, whenever you play off in race or gender or whatever, I think you're taking the victim narrative, and it makes it difficult to have a real discussion.
It does. I love for the truth to be spoken about. I'm not demonizing Democrats, and I'm not uplifting
No,
them,
no, no.
and I'm not. But what I'm saying is that to want, as far as this clip, and I'm referencing this clip, so you guys don't take it out of context, because every time a celebrity comes out and support and say anything favorable about Republicans or the Trump administration, there's a lot of backlash. And people want to cancel you, say it to the devil. Blacks cannot be conservatives openly. And all the people I mentioned, I don't know what color Amber Rose is, honestly, but Nicki Minaj, Chili, um, Nick Cannon, all are black people, not necessarily Republican, but they have spoken in favor of uh, conservative, so to speak, and supported Donald Trump one way or another. I find it very problematic that they're canceled. And the Democratic Party, my only point is, I find it interesting that they want to keep saying that Republicans are racist, as they don't even look at how they started. Now, we could talk about KKK and say it was a long time ago, but black codes and segregation was not that long ago when you look at American history. And that came from the Democratic Party. There's no way to get around that. That came from the Democratic Party. All the laws to that stop blacks from being able to vote, that goes way past um, the KKK and all that. I mean, the KKK helped stop black people from voting. And I'm not trying to demonize the Democratic Party, but what I am saying is they have no room to point the finger and say, "Oh, Republicans are racist." Hey, damage. Good morning. No, that's okay. I don't know if you saw the clip that I played for you. I don't know if you're familiar with the backlash that Nick Cannon got for the things that he said about the Democrats being, starting the KKK and their racist background. He got a lot of backlash for it. But go ahead, you
Well,
guys.
well, it's kind of boiled down to tribalism, and who which people are in their tribes. So if you have a lot of very not just but uh, figures that people really like, celebrities that people really care for, you tend to lean to that side because whatever they say is true, and that's the problem with for example the Oscars and how well it's very exposed at the Oscars, for example, how insane things are.
Not been said. And it's a big issue, and that's what's been left out. Everything that Nick Cannon said is absolutely true. I get it. And Amber Rose, you said you're not sure which color Amber Rose is one of those people. She's black when it's convenient for her. That's another video for another day, and I digress. But
Very
let
attractive. I don't know. I don't know anything about her, but when I looked at her and I looked at the video, She looks like an attractive woman. Again, that's neither here nor there. And the only reason I cared about the color of her skin is because I noticed that when black celebrities come out and say, "Hey, you know what, I'm Republican" or whatever, then they get all this backlash. Now I'm looking at Amber Rose. She is. Well, I'm gonna say the same thing. When I played that clip of Nicki Minaj supporting JD Vance and talking about the Trump administration, and people wanted to criticize her character and say, "Oh, but she did this and she did that," when none of those things matter. None of those things matter as far as what she was talking about.
Of course.
I just find it ridiculous. But I and the black community, really criticized her a lot. So Amber Rose, you guys, I find this lady attractive. But when it came to the color thing, I'm like, I don't know what color she is. I don't know. It doesn't even matter. It doesn't matter.
She
The
looks
only
black.
reason why it mattered is because the part of the clip. Wait, why am I so big? Hold on. The only reason why I even thought to bring it up was because she goes into everybody should be able to use the N word. Everybody. I just feel that we have so many words in the English vocabulary. Why are people so fixated on that one? Move on. So she did get backlash for that. That's the only thing I disagreed with as far as what she said. That's the only thing. Everything else, I say she was spot on.
That's also why I said she's black when it's convenient for her. But again, that's another video for another day. Amber Rose, she's not me. But again, that's neither here nor there. But again, let me get back to my original focus of why some of this is happening too. And for you to get a real generalization of that, we have to go back to the 1960s. Why, you ask? Because that's when the so-called Civil Rights Act was passed. And if you remember who passed it, it was a Democratic president. It was originally supposed to have been John F. Kennedy, but as we know, back in '63, he got assassinated in Dallas.
Yeah.
So it later became a guy who was extremely racist, even though he tried to hide it. And that was Lyndon Baines Johnson, or LBJ. He was the vice president at the time, and he later became the president of the United States. And he made a statement back then when he did sign the bill. And you can Google this if you like, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not making this up. The same way that Nick Cannon has his facts, I have facts as well. And this is a direct quote from President Lyndon Johnson. He said, "Once I signed this bill, N-words would vote Democrat for over 100 years. And damn it, the Democratic Party has been living off of the black vote ever since 1964, which is when the act was first signed."
Yep.
And as you can see, the Democratic Party has done, and listen, neither party has really done anything for blacks, to be fair, at least in recent history anyway. If anything, they've been a hindrance. And I've always argued that we needed our own party, but that's another video for another day. But the facts are the facts. And I hate to use the word slave, but a lot of our people have been slaves to the Democratic Party, listening to their promises. Oh, they're going to do this, they're going to do that. And they've done nothing. There's a great song, it's back in the day from Stevie Wonder. It's called Big Brother. And if you get a chance, listen to that song.
You want to talk about, okay, Lyndon
Baines
Johnson passing this act. But what I find it interesting when Democrats like to say that they don't like to speak about the strong support they received from the Republican Party. As a matter of fact, the Republican Party came in even though the Democratic Party, like they do a lot of times, make these promises and do all these things on paper, but they were no way, they did not enforce it. They did not protect blacks. As far as the Civil Rights Act went, we didn't get civil rights then. Only by signature. The Republican Party had to come in and fight for blacks not to be unalived as they were trying to exercise these rights. And when a Republican right now, Donald Trump, is in office, let's take it back right now to current events. I find it interesting that when Donald Trump or any Republican president proposes something, even if it's in the best interest for the United States, the Democratic Party opposes it, fights against it, down to the point of we need to support illegal immigration. And I find that insane. But again, the Democratic proposes something that's that's the best thing for the country, which is what Lyndon B. Johnson did. If you look up the research and see how many Republicans, more than half, they supported him. They did not riot. They didn't do all the ridiculous things that's happening today. And they're the ones that tried to enforce it. I'll wait for a response.
Well, bring it back to now. You know, it's logical. You know, it's look at how Trump has been treated the past 10 years. So when you staple, you know, the racist card onto Trump, everything will be perceived in that lens. It's very finite. It's very difficult for him to ever get out of that box. He will never get out of that box. At least not to these people. It's impossible. And I think that's why he stopped trying to fight it, because it's futile. What do you call it? Yeah, it makes no sense.
It makes no sense, and a lot of other things that don't make sense is that Claude went right to Lyndon B. Johnson, and we're going to forget that it was the Republican president, Dwight D. Eisenhower, that initiated the Civil Rights Act. The Republican president initiated it, and like I said before, Republicans are the ones that have fought for the rights of Black people. They started that. They fought for civil rights, and it was opposed by the Democratic Party. I don't want to make this a Republican versus Democrat thing, but I do want to make sure that we keep things in perspective. And when the Republican Party passed the act, they were met by a lot of oppositions from the left.
Yeah. Did Eisenhower get it done?
He's gotten yeah. My point is, the backlash did not come from the political right. The backlash came from the left. And that led to a lot of problems. But again, my point is, anytime a Republican or conservative come out here and they speak about things, they speak about civil rights, they speak about, okay, let's make right now, I'll keep it in 2026, let's protect our borders. Let's make sure that, that men are classified as men and women are classified as women, just things that are common sense.
Now I have to point at the schools.
Basic common sense things are no longer common sense anymore. It's like, okay, let's not look at things how they really are, and let's just keep going with the way things are going. And I have a problem with it, and I have a problem with. Oh, I didn't play Chili's apology for you guys. Let me do that, because again,
while you're finding that, I just have to point to your education system.
Oh, go ahead.
The education, your educators are soaked in all of this. So I'm pretty sure, at least at on university level, that you're not being taught the right things. I think things are very selective. I see it when I went to university. Critical theory. They made an immense I was studying political science, and they made an immense effort, to teach us critical theory, and many people didn't get it, and they're teaching it in your schools now also, critical theory, and they have no idea of what they're actually teaching. So I would say that all this confusion about right and left and why, I think you need to look at the educational system. It's becoming beyond a reproach.
Yeah. Good morning, Miss Betty Boop. How are you today? I agree. Let me play this for you guys. I don't know if you've heard it, and I really wish I could show you guys the video. We're not gonna risk it. No, we're not gonna risk it.
Hey guys, I wanted to come on here to address
I can show you a little bit.
things that circulate.
It's gonna be okay.
Very concerning to me. Let me say this first. I have the utmost respect and admiration for Michelle Obama, and I would never say or do anything that is disrespectful to her.
So this is her. So we already know that she got a lot of back. This is Shirley from TLC. We already know she got a lot of backlash. Let me put Paul on me because he's got some backlash. I don't know what else going. But she's got a lot of backlash for. It came out that she's a Trump supporter. She supported the donations. She donated to his campaign and stuff like that. But she also got a lot of backlash after that for reposting that video with Michelle, with some people saying that Michelle Obama saying that, she's a man and all those things. Shirley, so that's the setup for this.
Or to any woman, I would never do that. And I had no clue that this repost had happened until I started getting phone calls and text messages from everybody, and I immediately went to my page to see what was going on. Now, mind you, I'm not very computer savvy, so I'm looking for this repost button. And I see that all of these buttons are very, very close to each other. And clearly I was scrolling and my thumb hit the repost button. Again, I had no clue that something like this happened until I got all the calls.
So I don't know. She's been on Instagram. I guess you know what? Maybe I'll start sharing from Instagram. But she's on Instagram apologizing for this, and people are like, oh, this proves that she's what? Human? Demon God, what did you say? Sorry, I didn't say hi. Hi, misunderstood, and hi, Betty. Anyone going back to the bushes? Oh, thank you, Demon God. Thank you. Have a great rest of your morning, and thank you for stopping by. So, why is she out here apologizing? Now, I understand apologizing for reposting the thing about Michelle Obama being a man. I've heard it. A lot of you have heard that. I don't get into conspiracies and stuff like that. I'm not a conspiracist. But apologizing for supporting the Trump administration, I think that some people need to just stand on what they believe, despite the backlash, and just let people deal with their hurt feelings. That's how I feel. That's
Did
what
I just say that?
Deal with their hurt feelings. Do you know how many times I get these bleeding hearts messaging me about, oh, look at this video, Donald Trump. And they're not videos of facts that they send me. I can see you guys sending me articles or I like those videos. Send me the politicians' words. Do not send me what another commentator is saying. Don't send me their words about, how they don't like the Republican Party because they're all racist. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear that. I have my own opinion. I don't need to hear somebody else's opinion. But I get so many videos, you guys, that sometimes I don't even want to open up my emails because some of you are ridiculous. You're ridiculous.
Well, the sheer scale of what's available of opinions and from ordinary people, influencers, even journalists, all these narratives, they pile on, what if they can change, one little thing, it changes the entire thing radically. So how should people get their information?
I feel like if any of you have been to my vertical streams, I show you guys the news clip. I play from Trump. I'll play from JD Vance. I'll play from Caroline Levitt. I do not need to hear somebody that just jumped on YouTube that decided to read a couple articles and break things down for you. I don't need to do that. If you want to send me something, send me. If you tell me that Caroline Levitt said X, Y, and Z, send me X, Y, and Z. Don't send me somebody breaking down and telling me things because things are misinterpreted. I have my opinion on things. I show you guys the news article. Do I not? So I just feel that there's nothing wrong with giving commentary on these kind of things. But if I wanted to hear that person's commentary, I would go to their channel. What I'm not going to do is What I'm not going to do is use another person's video. Even with Roland Martin, you didn't hear me play Roland Martin words unless I was going to critique his words. I played from Chile. I played Amber Rose and Nick Cannon. I'll interpret their words. And my only point is this. If you want to convince me with something, convince me with facts, and send me the original source. Please don't send me somebody's breakdown of the source because that's not going to hold weight with me. Am I not making sense?
Yeah, you're making this very clear, and you're kind of what you would you call it? You're kind of a kind of a little bit unique, because you play something and people get on and they comment, and we have a discussion. But this is just here. This is just you. This is just us. So you have a whole world that's operating in a different manner. So this is the problem that people sit together and they take this subject like you're taking this subject, but you're playing something directly. But they have four people discussing, and we have this one topic, and we agree what the topic is, but we're not agreeing what we're discussing from, like we are here, because you're giving us the thing, and we're discussing from that thing. This is rare. That's the problem.
I hope that you guys understand my intentions, and I appreciate you, Justin. I appreciate Claude. Why are you laughing?
Smile.
Good morning, Swoop. I appreciate you guys, and that's what I try to make clear is to discuss these things. But I always want to show you guys what I'm talking about, and that part is not my interpretation. And that's why I don't think that people give me the same consideration. They send me videos, and I try to tell that person that's not the way to prove your point, because people have their biases. Most people would consider me right-leaning, I would think, if they listen to me for a long time. So I'm obviously going to look at things from a conservative point of view. But what I'm not going to do is tell you how to think, and I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. But when people are sending me videos, just like I said before, they're sending me content creators' video to watch. And I don't understand how simple I can be when I say, if you say that Donald Trump, okay, I'll give you a prime example. People keep saying that Donald Trump is a Pedialyte. You guys know what I mean when I use that word. I can't say the actual word.
Yep.
Send me somebody's breakdown of why. If you want to convince me that Donald Trump has ever harmed a child, I would send the proof of Donald Trump harming the child. That's indisputable. So I'm not blind when I say, keep your regular articles, keep your emotional feelings to yourself. If he did this crime, send me where. Send me where in the Epstein files what Donald Trump was accused of. But you know what? Don't just send me that he was in the Epstein file, because I'll be the first to say that Donald Trump's name is mentioned in the Epstein file. His name is not associated with any crime. They talk about the administration. They talk about Donald Trump's speeches. They talk about all those things in those files. But if Donald Trump did what they said, those files would have been put out before he was even elected during the Biden administration, they'd have said, I gotcha. And we
Yeah, he
wouldn't
would be
have
locked
all
up.
of this misleading information today. If you want to prove to me that whatever you want to prove to me, I don't think it's too much to ask to send me the original source. Send me a law, send me the speech. If Donald Trump said that he likes blah, 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 Donald Trump is a huge public figure, send that to me. But please don't send me Jane Smith crying about Donald Trump. Because I'm not going to care. That's what happened. Somebody sent me something of this person screaming about the Republican Party, and I felt like, you know what? I work in healthcare. I see people crying all day. I don't want to see some influencer crying online because she's crying about the country, but she probably didn't even vote in the first place.
Nope.
But you know, Emil is very compassionate. I am so compassionate. Look at Claude.
I can see the compassion.
Thank you. I hope so. I hope so. I think that we need to get past the right versus left thing and start talking about what's happening in the country. I think that is really important. Yes, we all. Claude is what he is. Justin is you know, across the
I am what I am. I'm right most of the time.
Yeah, I am whatever I am.
I love it. I love it.
I'm
It's
right.
more important to discuss the policies than to worry about what side of the fence you're on.
Oh, no, that makes, yeah. And we just had an election in Denmark, you know, and you know, you say the left-leaning side took a major hit in Denmark, and one of the new parties that got in was the party of common sense. And yeah, well, it wasn't, the prognosis wasn't that they would get in, but it was the party I voted for, and fortunately they got in, so we hopefully can get a little bit more over common sense, and I hope that, well, the U.S. Will within a year or two will revert to something that you know, similarly to common sense.
I too, and I find it. I love to hear what's going on over in Denmark. Still want Greenland. I love. I said it under my breath. You can't hear everything. My mic is
Still want Greenland. Oh, you can. Come on.
My mic is miking today, but you guys, I know.
No, you're talking today.
I want to make sure if you guys don't get anything else from me, because again, I did switch my commentary. You know, you guys have been with me for other stuff, and I switched along the way. I want to make sure that I am always showing you guys what I'm talking about, presenting the source. I don't care if you're left or right or the other party, you know. I want you guys to know that I'm not biased, and I'm gonna always present the facts. Claude, so if you don't get that from me, please let me know. But I try to show the political right and the political left, right? So I'll show media that is left-leaning and right-leaning, because this conversation, think about Congress, right? You have Republicans and Democrats, and they're discussing one issue. So it doesn't matter where you are. I just like to know why you guys think that way. And then hopefully we'll come to an understanding. We have more light. We have more Sterling. You guys remember Sterling? Can you show your camera? Let me use my banner.
Doing what?
Hold on.
Yeah.
Hi. Oh, there you are. Okay. How are you?
Hey, thanks for having me.
Let me remove my banner.
Okay.
It's been a minute. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
No problem.
Shout out to the panel in the chat.
That's very.
What were you guys talking about? I just hit the link.
Left versus right. I think Miss Universe should give you a recap.
I was basically, so I kind of missed it. I kind of was showing a video from Nick Cannon. I don't know if you're familiar with him and how the backlash he's gotten because he spoke about, he did say he wasn't Republican, but his views came off as very conservative, talked about the history of the Democratic Party being part, starting off with the KKK. You didn't watch any of this before you hit the link?
I didn't. I'm sorry. But
No, it's okay. It's not a problem. You don't have to apologize. I just said that before I got into this full recap. So that's kind of what it is. So I was talking about, so Chili from TLC got a lot of backlash because it came out that she has donated to the Trump administration. She got a lot of backlash. People wanted to cancel her, and then people said that was wrong. And then it came out that Chili reposted that video of Michelle Obama being called a man, and she reposted that on her Instagram. I played her apology. She said it was an accident. And Nick Cannon is the latest. Nick Cannon and Amber Rose. That's what you're talking about.
okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Can I throw a hypothetical up?
Sure.
What would happen if Obama, went on air and said that Trump was right in 90% of the time? What would happen?
That is interesting.
Because he's kind of the main figure in the Democratic Party, even though that he's he hasn't been there for the past 10, 12 years. Yeah, so I thought it would be interesting, to think what would happen if he switched around.
Amber Rose said that she was neither a little Negro. It's hard for me to do the what ifs, but I understand what you're saying. Now, Obama has been very critical over Donald Trump. To be fair, Donald Trump is also critical over Obama, but I've heard Donald Trump say really nice things about Obama. Donald Trump's, one of his biggest things with Obama was the Affordable Care Act that he calls the Unaffordable Care Act. I agree with Donald Trump that it is unaffordable for a lot of Americans. If Obama came out in support of Donald Trump, I think the Democrats would not know what to do with themselves and they would lose their mind.
Yeah, cognitive dissonance.
But
problems.
I think they do kind of agree on 90%. Like I'm one of those people that doesn't think there's that much difference between the two parties. Like,
okay.
So I would be very surprised if he publicly said it, but I kind of would agree with it. I think now that I hear it.
Yeah, but you would have, if you framed this to to the U.S. public. So it's not the nitty gritties in this, because I think most policies politicians can get around and come to an agreement on. But what if Obama went on live air and agreed with Trump?
Just the thought of that makes me laugh. Damage says I'm having technical issues. Have an amazing day, everyone. Damage, I always appreciate your support. I love seeing you. Have an amazing day as well. Have a great weekend and all that good stuff if I don't see you. Good morning, Bird Dog. Damage, take care. I think that's where we at, an hour almost. I think that's an interesting thought, Justin. With Sterling says there's not much difference between the parties. The biggest difference is the amount of government involvement in our life. That really is what separates the Republican Party and the Democratic Party. Is we want less government involvement in our life. We don't all the social programming and how the funds are spent. Those are the differences between the Republican Party and the Democratic Party. So those things do matter. But as far as other issues, I understand what Sterling is saying. But there are some stark differences.
Yeah, I agree with that. And let's see, we have Uncle Claude and I'm sorry, Justin, right?
Yep.
So Justin, you don't live in the States, I'm assuming?
No, I live in Denmark, of all
Mark.
places.
Okay, okay. What would you say to someone who says that the United States has the best healthcare in the world?
I would say that this is a tricky subject because I think Ben Shapiro said it best. You can have accessibility, you can have affordability, and you can have um, what's the other one? The last one: accessibility, affordability,
Quality?
and quality. Yeah. So you can have two of those three. You can have all three, but you can have two of them. So you have to pick. So in Denmark, we have a universal healthcare system, and while this is true and it's good in a lot of ways, we have a, what do you call it, a stoppage, a constipation in the line. So if you need cancer treatment, you'll have to wait in line. So in the US, you don't have to wait in line, but you have to pay a hefty cost. And you might even have better quality in the US. It's very difficult for me as a normal person, not involved in healthcare in any way, to judge whether one is better than the other. I think both live off each other, but most of the research comes from the US. So it's a much grander scale. So I think we learn a lot from the US. But it's nice to go to the doctor and don't have to pay. That's nice, to feel that, well, at least there's a process starting. So, but the thought of the US, I've talked about this previously, but the thought of the US getting universal healthcare is kind of absurd. And the reason it's absurd is because you have to be very homogeneous as a population to get something like that. We have 6.5 million people living in Denmark. That's not even that doesn't even include, well, you have states where this is just the population of one city.
Hey,
So
I
you're
think
you're very diverse.
what I don't want to do, I want to stay closer to the topic, but I think that well said, Justin. Great question, Sterling. I do want to stay closer to the topic that I'm talking about,
Yeah.
but I would not mind doing a full stream because that's kind of a loaded thing. We want to talk about healthcare and stuff like that because
oh, okay, my
one,
bad.
you don't, no, it's okay. It's a great subject. You guys, when it comes to socialism in America being looked at as a socialist country, socialism does not work. It will not work for the United States, and there's a lot of reasons why. But it's loaded. I could understand a country like Denmark having free healthcare, but it comes with a price because some people need treatment right away because they have dire conditions and they can't get it unless they're paying out of pocket. For what I'm understanding from the people I've spoken to from there, and plus from the research I've done. But I think there's pros and cons for everything. People have to remember the United States, regardless if what you think about the healthcare, you can go to any public hospital, and even if you can't pay, they have to treat you, and you can't get that from a lot of other countries. You can't. So and you'll get that right away. They're not going to tell you to come back in a month. You can get that right away. So shout out to the United States for having that available. And
And the taxation is completely different. You need to bear that in mind.
so my question is this: Do you guys feel that the backlash that Nick Cannon is getting is fair?
No, no, but the country is so divided, in that sense that what would you expect? Of course, he's getting that. Of course, he's getting that backlash. It's almost becoming tiresome. It doesn't surprise. It shouldn't surprise anybody anymore.
Right. I agree. And it's a lot of tribalism involved with it. When they see a certain demographic move over to the other party or say favorable things about the other party, then the system picks up on that and tries to expose it to keep other people from, falling out of line, I feel like.
I'll play for you if you don't know what I'm talking about. It's not long.
Okay.
But you want to hear it? I'll play it for you.
Yes, please.
Okay, let me go back to it. Do you guys mind if I play it for him so he knows what I'm talking
No,
about?
that's fine.
No, not at all.
Okay. Okay, let me go on mute for 1 second and I'll set it up for you.
Thank you.
Part of the Republican Party.
That's right. Former Democrat, former liberal. I
Yeah.
was a liberal Democrat my whole life.
Is that because the bag has got so intense and so heavy that you had a whole nother? You up there at the elite now?
Not even close. Not even close. Democrats don't care about black people, and they don't care about people. They don't care about people of color, and the Republicans do, and that's the misconception.
And you know what? I agree with you 100%.
Thank you.
People don't know that the Democrats are the party of the KKK.
Yep.
People don't know that the Republicans are the party that freed the slaves.
Yep.
I mean, both of you and I have some conservative views. You just a little bit more outspoken about it than I am. And I don't subscribe to neither party. I rock with W.E.B. Du Bois when he said there's no such thing as two parties. It's just one evil party with two different names. So
yeah, I mean, look, I listen. I'm not married to any party.
right.
I voted for Donald Trump because we had two options, and he was definitely by far the better option for us. And as of now, I agree with a lot of things that he's doing.
Well, but clean it out.
Yeah.
He doing what he said he was
Guess
going to do.
what? If there's a time where I don't agree, I'll say I don't agree.
Yeah.
I'm
We
not.
got the Gulf of America now.
Period.
He charging, he like the club. He charging a $5 million bottle service fee to get into the country.
I know. Listen.
So that's it. So the person
I think-
I'm not sure who you are. Can you show your camera and then you can make sure you're person? I'm not sure who you are.
I think one of the problems here was that he actually conceded, in the first part of that interview, he conceded that he was more conservative than he would like to admit. I think he pretty much flat out said that, and that's what's getting him in hot waters, I think, because the entertainment industry is pretty much liberal.
Yeah.
Hey, give me 1 second. To the person backstage, did you have something you wanted to add? Sam, you gotta undo your microphone. Yeah, I can't undo your mic. Okay, I'm gonna put you backstage. Can you undo your mic and greet us? Or okay, guys, let me sorry, Sam, I'm not sure where you're up there, but I can't hear you. Okay, let's get back to what we're talking about.
Yeah.
You got to get your mic settings together. So okay, so as you were saying, sorry about that. But and if somebody new, I got to use my banner and make sure that I'm not about to get bombed.
Right. Now, I mean, like I agree with Nick Cannon a lot more than I thought I would, especially to hear him say like there's no real difference between the two parties. It was kind of like a lot like what I said and what I feel like. And I don't feel like he'll get as much heat for that because you're not a threat to the system if you want to vote like outside the two parties. It's only if you cross over that people point it out to the other party, if that makes sense.
It does.
Whereas she said, I voted. I voted for the Republicans care about black people, and the Democrats don't. And I felt like she was half right. The Democrats don't, but the Republicans don't either, and they don't either one of them care about white people either. They only care about their, billionaire donor class. Is how I feel.
Well, I disagree, but I think that no, I partly disagree. Partly disagree. I think let's take race out of it. I don't think it's so much as caring about white people or black people. Republicans care about traditional values. So whether you're white or you're black, if you align with those kind of views, they're not going to care about you. It's not necessarily I care about you because you're white. I care about you because you're black. We definitely know that a wealthier economy is better for everyone. It's better for the 1%. That 3% keeps their wealth. Wealthier economy is better. So I'm not going to get into that because that'll take us down a rabbit hole. Well, I would say why it makes sense for blacks to be wealthier, and Republicans will have passed bills that support that, not because it's a white or black thing, but a wealthier economy supports everyone and is stronger for the country. Keeping it more basic than that, the color thing comes up. It's hard not to talk about race when you're talking about politics, because then you have to take into DEI programs. Donald Trump obviously, spoke about DEI, so that has to do with race, but it shouldn't have anything to do with race because it's more policy. And people want to put a black face in front of these policies, but blacks aren't the ones that's benefiting from DEI and affirmative action stuff. So I don't think it's a white or black thing. I think it's on policies, and I think it's about fall in line with these policies. Take care of yourself. Don't rely on the government to fully support you, and things like that. Do you guys disagree with me? How you doing, Dragonfly? Yeah, we're up in the morning. You guys can disagree
No,
with me if you want, but
no,
I think it's more of a policy thing than a race thing.
I think it's pretty much the same way it works everywhere. You can't take race out of it. We, as I said, we just had an election here. A huge part of that election, the topic was migration. And when we're talking about migration in Europe, we're talking about people coming from sub-Saharan or the Middle East. And they naturally have a different kind of look than Europeans do. So that became a hot topic. So I don't think you can take race out of politics in any way. But I think that politicians use race as bait.
They use race as bait, and I'm not gonna hold you. I was the black vote. A lot of these politicians are fighting for the black vote, just like they'll fight for the Latino vote. So we're definitely represented. But and I think that's important for equality. But the bigger thing for me that I would love to see is for us to stand as Americans, not stand on. I don't think this is going to happen in the United States. I don't. Where we're not looking at white or black. I think it's too embedded in our culture. But I still will not say that one party is over another and one party is more racist over another. I can't talk about how parties have contributed to the racism, who started it with the KKK. That's history. But I'm definitely not saying that there's not racism on both sides, because people are imperfect. People are imperfect on both sides. And when you see it, you call it out. But it's the demonizing the Republican Party, saying that you're racist because you're Republican, that I have a huge party for. Because I have a huge problem with, because I'm not going to say that you're racist because you're Democrat and you support what they stood for. I'm not going to say that. And I think that anybody who can foolishly say that all Republicans are racist, that we support illegal actions and stuff like that, is far cry from the truth.
I hope you didn't perceive what I said as saying that all Republicans are racist. I was.
No.
I hope you didn't hear me say that. Yeah.
That had nothing to do with you. That's just
okay.
I was speaking more so on the backlash of, I spoke earlier about Nicki Minaj coming out saying, I support the Trump administration, and she was standing with Erica Kirk because of the bullying that Erica Kirk got once her husband passed away, and she took CEO of Turning Point USA, and Erica, said she
Yeah.
supported Nicki Minaj, and there was a lot of backlash there. Talked about Chili from TLC, the backlash that she's gotten, and there's just a problem when Black people come out and say, you know what? Because we know that Blacks are majority Democrat. That's a fact. Look at the numbers.
Right.
So when you get one that says, wait a minute, the Democratic Party hasn't worked for me and I'm going to switch gears, I'm no longer a Democrat. I don't know if I was ever a Democrat. I don't want to sit up here and lie to you guys, but what do you call it? But it doesn't mean I've never voted for a Democrat, because I voted for Obama the first term.
There's a standing joke here that says, "Well, I was a Democratic liberal, and then I grew up."
I've heard that, Justin. I've heard that.
Yeah, yeah.
It makes sense. I mean, and some people say, "Oh, and you vote Republican because of your income and all that kind of stuff." Say what you want. I stand for the party that makes the most sense, and that I believe in a wealthier economy. I don't believe that any government is going to save you. I don't believe that you should be on welfare the rest of your life. I just don't. And,
No.
and food stamps and all that. These things have divided families. I think Claude might understand some of what I'm talking about. Food stamps have divided Black families. Okay, you can disagree with me.
No, I'm listening. No, I'm
Why are you so
I-
close to the camera? Why are you so
My-
close
my-
to the camera when I'm on the subject?
My point before was just that, and this was maybe a little bit harsh, but if you've got the Black representation in the U.S., almost monolithically liberal, democratic, then how to change? If you have to switch this perspective, first of all, it takes time, and to make this switch, whenever you have had an idea about something, and you find out, whoa, this is not what it was. It was not. That's not how that's not how I perceived it. But this is the right way to perceive it. Something in you has to die. You have to kill that thought in yourself to replace it with something else. So this is kind of the same thing here. So Black people, if they have to think more conservatively, they have to kill something in themselves. They have to, and you have to change that within a family lineage. So you've been having a certain set of politics, policies within your family, and you're talking with your wife or your husband about this, making dinner or whatever, and your children hear this, and of course they are affected by this, more or less, and all of a sudden, well, now the parents don't think this way anymore, and the children will have to they catch this, and it creates confusion in children that doesn't have any sense of political thought. So it creates confusion, and you have to do this, down and down and down your lineage, and that takes time.
It takes time.
Yeah, I don't think I got that out very well, but
No, you did.
okay.
You did. Yeah.
Well, the fact of the matter is, a lot of us have been lied to for so long. But here's the problem. Some of us have been so comfortable with the lie where they're afraid to make a change. I think that's what he's trying to say. Where
Yes.
we have to be bold enough to make that change, and not worry about what other people think. And that's the biggest thing that I have. When these, first of all, who cares what these celebrities? Who cares? Who cares about?
Well, the
I don't
people
know about
that follow these celebrities do very much.
Yeah, but only in the Black community do others care about. Oh, this is so and so votes this way and so votes that way. Only in our communities does this
No,
happen.
no, no, no.
I
You
don't
see,
know about that.
I
Yeah, like
disagree because you see that with
It's
what's her name?
disgusting.
you see it with like George Clooney. You see it with these like Hollywood types, and it's
What
just
what's
so.
Hollywood.
I'm sorry.
what's the very famous singer? Super Bowl, Travis Scott. No, not Travis Scott. I'm
You
sorry.
talking about Bad Bunny?
No, 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 no.
If you
I
talking
was
about Kendrick Lamar,
he was girlfriend to was
oh,
it
you're
Patrick
talking about
Mahomes?
what Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift, yeah, because
Uh,
she has such a massive following, and on a survey they were asked, these fans of Taylor Swift, uh, if they were going to vote in the same way that Taylor Swift thought they should vote, and they were very firm in their beliefs. Whatever Taylor Swift thought was the right thing, and she
Well,
has a billion followers or something like that. It's insane.
right.
Venus O makes a good point. Good morning, Pepper. Good morning, Venus O, beautiful. She says, who relies on celebrities as guidance for politics? Exactly. I thought that it was very weird during the Democratic National Convention that they were using people like, the celebrities that they were using to try to persuade you guys for the black vote.
Yeah,
Now,
Beyonce and
I think they did like way too much of all that, but wait a minute.
this is
Dragonfly
something
says,
that
who
Malcolm
has
X
the
also
machine
warned
on
us
his
about
back?
back in the day.
Huh?
But that was also something that Malcolm warned us about back in the day.
What was that?
How they would use certain so-called black celebrities to influence the vote and to influence how we think.
Yeah, and how they were saying, Harris was talking about like, oh, I could twerk now. I don't want to think about my president twerking. I thought that it was ridiculous what they tried to do to persuade the black audience. I felt like a lot of blacks, the black voters, I felt like a lot of blacks felt insulted that
It
our this level came down to that. And celebrities are celebrities. I don't need you to tell me how to vote because you're in a way different tax bracket. You're not living the way as an average American. And I just thought that there was a lot of foolery this last election. And I hope in 2028 we have a primary. We get to choose. We didn't really have options. Speak on it, Uncle Claude. Oh Lord. Um, people are agreeing with
what?
Claude Sterling, and that's okay. But again,
What?
it felt
Can
like
I ask
Yeah,
you?
you can
Maybe
see how
Claude, you know
unfair it is.
this. Maybe you know this, Claude.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear.
The CPAP machine in the
yeah, there's like some back. So I told you before, Claude, that you got like this.
No, I was trying to ask what was the percentage? The voting percentage at.
Voting percentage of what? What like?
Well, of the election, U.S. election, how many percentage wise, how much how high was the percentage of voting?
Of total turnout versus like the
Yeah,
total population, it's not good.
no. Yeah, but of people
No,
allowed to vote, of course.
they had a lot
Sure.
of. What do you mean it wasn't good? It was good. There was a
Well,
lot more young people voting than ever before, which you could thank Charlie Kirk for that. when people don't want to. Speaking of, no, not doing it, not doing it. I didn't even speak about.
Can't help yourself. Can't do it. Cannot help yourself.
What do you mean? It came up in the conversation. I was gonna say with Charlie Kirk, which I'm not going down this rabbit hole, but I did a video about Drewski and his parody with Erica Kirk, and I'm just like, you know, it's just
It
so
was
much.
It was packed.
I guess we can get off subject now because I spoke about it for an hour. But I think that I spoke about it again for an hour. But I thought that was so tacky. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, just look at my YouTube shorts. Look at my new YouTube shorts. I made a video about it. Drewski, who I don't know that much about. I think he's a comedian. He's got about 5 million followers. Over 5 million followers. His video got over 100 million views talking about Erica Kirk. And he doesn't mention Erica Kirk's name. Now, it's a rumor that she said she was going to sue. She didn't say she was going to sue. Donald Trump had given her advice about, hey, you know, maybe you want to sue people. But he didn't mention Drewski. I just think that when a person is mourning, and I have seen some of Drewski's skits, when a person is mourning, that I don't find it funny to I didn't find it. I find Drewski funny sometimes, but I think that when people are mourning, to leave them alone, because Erica really didn't ask to be in the spotlight like that. No, my background is clear and free from distraction. What was you talking about, Timo? I don't know, but go ahead, you guys. What's the?
I was asking because young people are going to be the leaders someday, and if they already have this misconception of what politics is and depth of thought, depth of policy, this is already a problem. Well, it's going to be a bigger problem in 4 years and an even greater problem in 8.
Yeah. I would say that, as far as like the Republican Party, like I think Misunderstood was saying, she supported the Republican Party because they supported traditional values. Yeah, I think I got that right.
Yeah.
But I would question, like, what are these traditional values? Because like in one of them that I would point to is the American dream, owning a home and things like that. And that's becoming more and more impossible for the average person, who doesn't buy a house until they're like 40, and the average home cost is between 400 and 500,000.
We've got the same problem here.
Mm-hmm. Okay, in Denmark, is it the same problem?
Yeah, it's the exact same problem.
So has housing prices gone up?
Yeah.
Has it kept up with like wages though? Like, have wages increased over there?
Well, wages have increased, but for a first-time family, it's pretty much impossible to go out and buying a home.
Why is that?
Because the prices are simply too high.
Okay.
So you can say, well, a first-time family, we would say that this would be in the last parts of your education or within a couple of years after your education is done. You need such a massive down payment that it's pretty much impossible. Because housing prices have skyrocketed. Well, you know what I mean. In that sense, it's been insane. And I know it's the same in England. I know it's the same in the US. But I would point to you say the American dream. I would point to traditional family values.
Traditional family values is
Yeah,
what.
yeah. So the family nucleus and the destruction of that. That's a problem.
Oh, okay.
That's exactly what we're talking about. Let me get to Demon Soul's comment real fast because I was just talking about Erica. But family values is what we're talking about. We're talking about traditional family values, not really the housing thing, but the family.
No, but he was.
Oh, go ahead.
but Sterling mentioned the American dream, and I
No,
see
that's what I
those
was
two
saying.
things connected.
I was agreeing with you as far as when we're talking about traditional values, we're talking about the family unit.
Yeah, I know.
Now, Davis all says, now going back to, did you guys see the clip of Drewski? Yeah, know what I'm talking about? It went
No.
viral. I figured.
Yeah,
No?
I know what you're talking about. I
You
didn't
know.
watch it. I didn't watch it, but it was everywhere. I knew it existed. Yeah.
Yeah, and I had to clip it because I haven't been. You guys, when I don't go live, you guys look at my video. I'll make a video for you. And once I have more hands on deck helping me put out these news stories, I will be able to cover more stuff. But listen, why they act like Erica fat? She not an ugly woman. Politics aside, the skit was too much. If you guys haven't seen it, just let me know and I'll show it to you. But I think that the skit, number one, Erica's not a fat woman. Erica is an attractive woman. She is American standard, I'll say. She's white, blonde. I'm only bringing that up because Drewski, so don't be like, I'm bringing up color and stuff like that. But in this case, Drewski dresses up as, a white woman, blonde hair.
But he's
now,
fat.
So Drewski is overweight, so he can't pretend to be a thin woman. Erica's not. Erica was a pageant woman, so she's not fat. She's had some kids and stuff like that, but Erica's an attractive woman. I think that what Candace Owens is doing with Erica is a bit much. I wish that Candace would stick more on the Tyler Robinson case than Erica instead of going down this rabbit hole with Erica. But
Candace needs to keep her mouth shut. See, I was a Candace fan. I used to be a fan of Candace, but now I loathe her. I don't say this about people generally, but I hate Candace. I really hate her. She is spewing so much conjecture. She never brings any receipts. She is disgusting. She's a disgusting human being preying on people for her own intentions of, yeah. I can see Claude, he's relaxing now. He's warming up for an attack or something. That's there.
I tried to warn MU about this woman.
There was nothing to warn me about Candace. When have I ever spoken favorably about Candace Owens? When have I
can't hear Claude.
I'm a fan. When have I ever said that? What I said was, okay, so Candace first, people don't remember Candace's first controversy when she made that stance about Hitler being okay until he decided to globalize. And once he decided to, that's when he had problems. Now, she said she misspoke, but that's her first backlash that people like to sweep under the rug. Then Candace has shown her support for Donald Trump, and now she criticizes everything the Trump administration is doing. And the thing with Candace, I feel she didn't get the support that she wanted. There's a lot of reasons she jump fits, right? I put her in the same category as I would put a Marjorie Taylor. And now when it comes to Candace as well, when it comes to Erica Kirk, here's my problem. She was friends with Charlie Kirk. Candace Owens has always had a large platform, and she's always got a lot of views. It has since tripled covering Charlie Kirk. So first she put out a few messages. Now every day we have to hear about Charlie Kirk and Erica, and she takes us down these darn conspiracy roads that I'm like, Candace, what are you talking about, right? And I just feel like she takes us down this rabbit hole, and because of the amount of views and the donations that she's getting from covering Erica Kirk, she's not going to stop. We got to hear about Erica Kirk every day from her. And it sounds ridiculous at this point. I can't believe that she called herself Charlie Kirk's friend, because Charlie Kirk would not like his wife being attacked the way that Candace is attacking her. And that's why you got to be careful who you're friends with, because you guys, they'll use you for profit. And that's all this is about.
Well,
she's a grifter.
Yeah, and if it's about profit, then you have to ask, like, who else profited, and did anyone profit more? And from what I understand, Erica Kirk herself profited more, whether it be like millions of dollars donated for Charlie's funeral, or whether it's the new position that she found herself in CEO. And by the way, TPUSA raised over $100 million in the days after his death. So, I mean, if you want to make it about grifting and money, you do kind of have to mention that too, to be fair.
I have no problem mentioning that kind of stuff. There's a lot of wealthy people that support Turning Point USA. Charlie Kirk has had a hand in getting Donald Trump elected. He's had a hand in telling the truth about the Republican Party. I'm not saying I agree with everything Charlie Kirk said, but going out reaching young voters. Now, Erica did not ask for her husband for his wife to be taken for speaking conservative values. That never should have happened. So
Not according to Candace.
right?
Not according to Candace.
Oh, right.
Candace is wrong. Candace is wrong for that because we've seen
You
it
think?
happen. And I have a problem with people that use their platforms to tell us not to believe our eyes, but to believe what they're saying. That's a problem with social media. I'm glad that these platforms are. I'm glad that some people are still free thinkers and they don't listen to people just because they have a platform. Just like with me, I show you guys the truth. I speak the truth, and I show it to you guys. I could back up everything that I say. Can Candace? No. She throws a bunch of conspiracies out there. Now, there is no proof of Erica harming her husband. She may have gotten married for certain reasons. She may have positioned herself politically. It's a lot of people do that. So what? But as far as taking
Yeah,
someone's life, that's a far stretch to say you marry somebody for, I see love between Erica and Charlie. I don't know what you guys see. I see a love story. Okay? Charlie clearly loved her. She was loyal to him. Nobody's perfect. But if you want to talk about her husband losing his life, he lost his life because of the things that he was saying. And I am not about to say that it was anything else.
I think, and even Candace would agree with that. He lost his life by things that he was saying. They just, you might just be talking about different things that were said that were the problem, But hey, look, I don't know what to believe. We got to let the system play out.
I know what to believe. His wife was taken. And
his wife what?
His life was taken.
Okay.
And it should never have been taken because of the things that he was saying. And the fact of the matter is, we saw a lot of people celebrating, a lot of people mimicking and mocking his death, Black and white students alike, to the point where they were getting expelled from school. It was very disgusting that people were celebrating because they couldn't handle Charlie Kirk's words. So we either have the freedom of speech or we don't. It's not, if I hurt your feelings because I tell you this means I should lose my life because I hurt your feelings. And Charlie Kirk said things. He said that if you are a biological man, he's not going to call you a woman. He's not going to. And a lot of people's feelings. He said things. But do we have so my freedom of speech is contingent on your feelings? So if I say, I support the Republican Party, I deserve to die? Because that's where we are today.
Yeah. But this is also, all these clips, from Charlie's events being taken out of context, being clipped, and being portrayed in a certain manner. Yeah. And this will color people's attention span is so low. It's constant dopamine feeds. So if you get a 5-second clip of Charlie saying something that on surface level sounds like this is horrible, well, they're gonna run with that. And then you see, and then you five pages down, you get a similar clip. So and a third time, a fourth time, then you think, well, this must be Charlie's position.
I agree with you, Justin. Well said. Couldn't say it better myself.
I mean, like, I didn't think the things that Charlie said were like over the top, though. Like of all the commentators out there, I just felt like he was a more reserved one. He wouldn't be the one I expected to be targeted over his opinions that he was speaking. I mean, no, not at all. Like he was always kind of he played both sides, middle of the road a lot. I felt like, and the other things that he was saying was about our relationship with Israel. And I mean, he was talking about how we were too close to Israel. We supported them too much. They dragged us into too many conflicts. He advised Trump not to go to the Iran war. And yes, he was very influential with young people. Mostly young white men on college campuses. I won't deny that.
But the
No, I
situation with Shirley
did
can
laugh
be,
when Erica Kirk. I now this guys, y'all got. I have
Say
to call
what?
things out when Erica goes. We need to. Oh, young white. What did she say? Young white men. We need you to stand up. I kind of chuckled. Now this isn't. She said this way before anything, right? I
yeah,
don't think
I
white
remember.
men need help standing up. I don't feel you guys need that. I thought I'm like Erica. Now you're doing too much. You're doing too much because white men, one of the things that I mean, when have they ever have had a problem setting up? Now, I can say that some white people feel, good morning, Kara, that they haven't been able, that they have to feel ashamed about a lot of things. But I don't think they have a problem standing up when they're the majority.
I think no. I think well. I think no. No, I'm gonna reserve that one.
And so I was just like, Erica, she's praying, right? No, we need you to stand up. She kind of got laughed at a little bit. But as far as everything else, like her husband and stuff like that, is that you, Stephen? So, um,
Yes.
she did get some backlash there, and I was just like, Erica, come on now. I sympathize with you, but we.
I think the situation with Charlie is kind of like the canary in the coal mine. This is kind of like um, with all what happened in the aftermath. It's kind of it's a symptom of what's going on in a grander scale in the U.S. Unfortunately.
I agree. Good morning, Kara. And if I cut any of you off on the panel, it's not on purpose. I think that my internet, because our weather is not so great right now, is like kind of on me. So please don't think I'm cutting you off.
You
How you doing, Stephen? So
you I thought you lived in the desert. It sounds like you live with waterfalls in your background. You got waterfalls in
That's
your background?
Claude's microphone. Like he's got some.
Use my microphone.
It's you. It's you. That's why I can use your microphone. It's like you got some. Dragonfly said you had a CPAP machine.
I have a CPAP machine. No, there was a fan on that I turned it off. That's why you don't hear anything
Yeah,
now.
your
Because
mic
I'm
was
like,
like.
hold it, what's going on? But I had a fan on because it was in the but
Um,
it's off now. So.
I'll still be your fan club.
the
Stephen,
Eric,
so what?
I was going to come up about the Charlie Kirk thing when all those people was getting fired. Actually, Durham not a professor, but the dean of one of our universities, Middle Tennessee State University, she got fired for putting her comment in there, and it was like a train effect. Like that day, people kept demanding going to MTSU, going to other schools, UT all day. It's like people got together in a group. I seen one locally by where I live. They got together in a group and just started mass calling, and all those people lost their job. But when I asked in the chat to play devil's advocate. Well, if you should be able to have free speech and free opinion, and you shouldn't be persecuted or illed for that. Which I haven't said my opinion yet. I'm playing devil's advocate. Should you also be fired for your opinion?
Well,
That's a good question.
No,
you.
free speech isn't free, to be quite honest with you.
Right.
It's
Number
But
one,
I
when
will
you
give
work
this
for somebody
caveat.
else,
Some
you're
places do have an ethics clause,
go
and I
ahead.
know that. So I'm not talking about places with ethics clause because some places, if you go out and your jeans too tight and you at the wrong club, you can get fired. So they have the tight ethics clause. So I understand that. I'm not talking about tight ethic clauses. I'm talking about just for your opinion. Or should it be based on what you say? Because some people were saying stuff like good and I want to buy that person a drink who did it. That kind
Mm.
of stuff I found disgusting. I'm
That
not gonna
was
even act like
disgusting.
I did it.
It
But
was horrible. If I owned a business, and I have owned businesses before, and the person that worked for me and represented my country said things that's not representing my business or what we stand absolutely, you will be fired because your company. So you have the right to free speech, and I have the right to fire you. So if you're gonna go around mocking somebody's death, if you're gonna go around saying things that is not some of the things, because these weren't just statements about oh he should die. These were very derogatory. These were very explicit. A lot of it. The professor said things that she never could have said. People saying that he should have died. That's obviously inappropriate for a professor to say, and they had every right to let her go.
Yeah, Jimmy
Some
Kimmel.
You don't have the right to say it, but you
and
can. Your right to freedom. Your right can't. Your right to say things does not mean that there are not consequences for the things that you say. If I go out right now and I say, you know what, I don't like people of a certain religious group. I think you guys know what I'm talking about. I don't like these people, and I'm not saying the word for the algorithm. I will lose my job, right? I'll be canceled. And they have every right to disassociate themselves from the things that you say. You can tell a person's character by the things that they say.
Now, do you
So
think it's some jobs, MU? Because remember, Vietnam and et cetera, a lot of that was on the battleground of the college campus, right? A lot of the movements, especially when it comes to liberal acts, women's movements, all that, were born on the college campus. So, do you think it depends on the type of place where you work? Because isn't that like the place where they teach you to have your own thoughts, be loud, be proud, and protest? Because I'm just saying they have been in the past the center of a lot of
some people
protest.
have spoken. People have spoken out. People have said that they didn't like Charlie Kirk. They didn't lose their jobs and they weren't expelled. People that were mocking his death in a different degree, and I could play some of those videos for you guys. They were, because the things that they were saying didn't align with campus policies or some of the policies of these jobs. So yes,
You
it's
have
still, we talk about Vietnam, we talk about a lot of things, and yes, it's a thinking. Yes, it's a thinking camp.
there's
Go there to
there's a
think
major
and to learn how to interpret things. But when you're looking at somebody that's supposed to be a future leader and that's supposed to be this and that, I don't want people promoting violence. I don't want people saying that if you don't like, because this is what they're saying. He deserved to die because of things that he was saying. That's what they were saying, more or less. That's not being a free thinker. If I don't think like you, if I say something that hurts your feelings, I should lose my life. And for a professor to stand behind that kind of a nonsense, she has no business teaching our young people anything.
I would
Let me
say
and
say
there's
this. I'm sorry. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
oh,
Go ahead.
there's a difference from the 60s, with Vietnam and looking up to today, because look at how the information highway, how connected people are now than they were back then. It's a major difference, and a professor talking about this also has the right to to say, well, I'm not. It's not my position to talk about this, and definitely not in the setting that he or she is a professor. It's a bad idea.
yeah. What I would say is that, as far as freedom of speech, I guess like we're really only protected from the government censoring our freedom of speech, right? So as far as like a private business or something like firing you, I guess it's state by state. Like a lot of states have a right to hire, right to fire. And so like in what that means is they don't even have to give you a reason. They can just fire you for any reason. And so, but now that's not the same with the government. If you had a government job and you said something that they didn't like, or and they even tried to censor you or fire you, then maybe that would be different.
Again, free speech isn't free first and foremost, and those rights have been infringed upon ever since 9/11. But that's another story for another day. Candace Owens is a weasel, always was a weasel, always will be a weasel. Just my opinion. And listen, Charlie Kirk, we know he had no business dying over words. And I've never seen a widow being treated as poorly as Erica Kirk has been treated. It is ridiculous how she's been treated. She's been looked at like, I mean, you would have thought that she pulled the trigger the way some of these people have acted towards this woman. It is absolutely ridiculous. If she doesn't grieve, she's not grieving. If she does grieve, she's putting on an act. She can't win no matter what she does. I've never thought that I would have to defend somebody like this, but Erica Kirk has been vilified so much. And for Candace Owens to vilify her and claim that she was her friend, it just lets you know how much of a snake that she really is. She's a disgraceful human being, in my
I
opinion.
don't I don't think he's
And
the only
another thing.
minority to go
Oh,
through
sorry.
heresies. Coretta Scott King. I mean, there's been a lot of women who have husbands have died over hate. They have been treated poorly too. I mean, to start with Coretta and to go on down, their husbands were killed out of hate, just the same way Charlie was killed out of hate, and they experienced a hard time as well too. I don't think it's singular to her. And widows in general are judged unfairly lots of times when they how to move on, when to move on too soon. Are you honoring him? Are you wearing black every day? It's a lot on women in general, widowers.
I agree, and especially when it comes from those traditional values that Charlie Kirk professed, that the conservatives tend to say they agree with. Well, part of that would be, having the mother in the house raising the kids, and that's kind of what I was getting to with the cost of housing and how it affects like traditional values, because it's hard to get your family in that house if you can't afford it. If you're still paying off your student loan debt, then you can't get that down payment as soon as somebody in perhaps Denmark could. I don't know. So I
We're
think
more lenient.
yeah. So I think for those reasons, and also like her becoming the CEO of a major corporation, I just don't know that those reflect traditional values, or certainly not the values of Charlie Kirk, because he had spoken up against that. The woman should be at home raising the kid.
Well, he at least he generates. Well, he asked the question, if you actually wanted to do that, why would you want to do that? I wouldn't want to leave a CEO company like that. Never. I wouldn't want to do it. Never. So her being thrust into this is kind of well, it must be so overwhelming for her, and for other women that have experienced the same thing, Miss Q. It must be so overwhelming, and not finding a foot in that. Of course, you,
Let me show you
and
a clip of this lady and what she's doing. I had to turn down the sound because of the music. But this teacher that they're talking about, that Demon Soul brings up, would you want this lady now? Sorry, it's so edited, but just look at the. Hang on, you guys. Let me show it to you. I'm not gonna play the sound, but this is one of the teachers. She's not the only one. Now, do you see the gesture that she's making during this?
no. Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Would you
that's
want
ridiculous.
teaching your kids? So it's not a so when people are speaking about, oh, you have the right to free speech and all that, you do, but something so ignorant, that man did not deserve to lose his life. And when I'm looking at this lady, there's so many things that come across my mind, and I'm not gonna say it. Why?
no,
Because
but
I will be
that's
canceled. I will be, if you guys wanted to really, I need a Discord, because then I'll tell you exactly what I think about her appearance, her ignorance, her gesture. But for the sake of this podcast, what I'm going to say is this lovely shaped woman is is making art of herself. That's what I'm going to say for social media purposes.
well, she's actually instigating to violence with that hand gesture. She's actually encouraging it, and
Okay,
Well,
that's the
so
problem,
did she
because
have
that
not
makes it kind of
done it?
criminal.
Should she have kept her job? When didn't she lost her job?
I
Of
think
course.
the better question is, should she be prosecuted? Should that be against the law? If it's
I don't think
so,
it should be against the law
No,
because you
Charlie
guys
ain't
have
no
the right.
goddamn officer. Now, come on now. Because I mean, if he was had a certain position, I don't know if he was Trump or vice president. I don't know, a certain type of something that took some
Anybody
kind of
else? What do y'all
oath.
think? Should it be against the law?
Sterling is
No.
asking you guys, should it be against the law? I'm gonna say no
What she
because
did,
again, whether I like
I don't
your
think what
free
she did
speech,
should have
I
been
have to
against the law.
support your right to free speech. But that doesn't mean she has the right to make a fool of herself. She does. But she's not committing a crime by doing that. Should she have lost her position? Absolutely. And the backlash that she got is warranted. But when you listen to people talk about her getting fired, what they're gonna say is, "Wow, teachers are getting fired for saying they're not unhappy that Charlie Kirk is gone." That's not what happened.
No,
That's not
she
what happened.
crossed the line.
She didn't get fired because, see, I like to twist the truth. She did not get fired because she didn't like this. She didn't like Charlie Kirk. She got fired for that gesture, for mocking this person's death. There was nothing funny about it, and I'm glad they got rid of her. And I wish they would get rid of more people like her.
That lovely shaped woman.
Now y'all doing what
I'm
they do
stuck
to
on
Erica
that. Okay.
Kirk. Y'all body shaming. It's about what she did, not about what she looked
I
like.
am not
Because they
body
do the
shaming.
same
I
Yeah.
thing to
didn't
Erica Kirk.
say, Dimisel, I didn't body shame her. When did I body shame her?
It was the laughter and the
I don't know about
implied
that.
drag. It was, come on now, I'm B-sector, baby. It was the implied drag. But yeah, she's not she's what they call a handsome woman. Be quiet, Art.
We come from the same place, and so you can't get mad. You can't get
You
mad
didn't
at
just
my
hear my
sarcasm
dig.
when I
Now you ain't even paying attention. You didn't just hear my little dig I did. I
Yeah,
said,
she said
she
she's
a
a
handsome
handsome
woman.
woman.
I changed my ways. Yes, I come from the same place. I understand you get but like I said for social
Okay.
media purposes, there's a lot. When I'm looking at this woman, there's a lot of things that I can say, but I'm not going to say it. So that's why I said
Well, let's just say she's made a lot of bad choices.
a lot.
I think that was pretty diplomatic, wasn't it?
Listen, I feel if you put yourself in the spotlight like that, then people are gonna talk. So if she can't, these what did 23 B Red said, those fully given over to evil are not just prone to wrong actions, but are characterized by them. I agree. Love and darkness over light. People
Oh,
love
that's a nice statement. I agree with that.
the laws of the land are not the only laws in this world. That's true.
Right.
Yeah.
But it
Yeah.
goes along with what Sterling is saying. That's right. See?
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, like, I don't care if she got fired or not. To be honest, like, I mean, it's up to the school or her employer or whatever. I just I feel like we need to protect the speech that we don't agree with. That's what we need to protect the most. Their ability to say things that are ignorant and hateful and just vile. Because I believe also that sunlight is the best disinfectant, and we need to engage with people and we need to hear them. And I don't feel like we should prosecute people for thought crimes or even hate speech, which is one thing I feel like our country got right. Whereas a lot of other countries, the UK, Australia, they're moving towards hate speech and arresting people for that. And that's why I was asking the question. Yeah, thank you.
Well, I agree completely, but there are different positions in life. If you're a teacher, well, you have a what you call it, responsibility to those you teach, and her standing out on the picket fence, demonstrating in that way. Well, does she have the right to do that? Well, you could say, as a human being, she has a right to that, and then we can argue policies and form and so on. But if you're a teacher, you're setting a precedent for the ones you teach. That's a problem. So that's the whole thing I had with the education system. It's teaching young people what to think, not how to think. It's a big problem, and it's
It's
happening here as well. But it's a big problem.
Well, school is a big institution and it's a money thing. I feel like people are not really understanding that it is a problem because they're preparing you to work for someone else. School doesn't really prepare you to be an entrepreneur, to understand capitalism, to understand, financial language, because they would teach more financial literacy if that was the case. And they don't. They're teaching you to work for a company and make those companies wealthier. Now, for some people, I want to show you guys this clip. Do you guys remember the kid that was mocking Charlie Kirk's death that got exposed? And then you had Governor Greg Abbott asking for him to be expelled. So what do you guys think about that? Let me show it to you guys. I think I can show you the.
You mean under 18 years old kid?
No, he's in college. I don't think he's under 18. But let me show it to you.
Oh, he was like in the audience.
I'll show it to you. You guys didn't see that when it happened. So this one, so I'm just saying. So it's not. So he's asking for him to be expelled because it violates the state of Texas. So he just goes on to. Can you see him or no? So yeah, he's just like very. So, hey Daisha, good morning. So again, I'm not saying that you guys need to like Charlie Kirk. What I am saying is it's about human decency. And
Hey,
I can imagine losing my loved one's life and having the world make fun of it in such an egregious manner. I find it absolutely.
Look at George Floyd, how people mock that too. I don't think you should be expelled from college. Come on now. Like, he's a stupid kid. I don't think you should be expelled from college because it's an optional thing that you're paying for. It's a service.
Right.
Yeah, I agree.
I didn't say he should be expelled. I just told you guys what happened.
Yeah, I'm just saying what they said on the thing that the governor saying that he should be expelled.
That's why I said you guys feel. Hopefully you guys feel nice. Yeah,
but
I question if you feel it was right, but okay, Demon Soul says no, she don't feel it was right.
But the difference between that and the female teacher was that she kind of I might be going out on a limb here and way out where I don't belong, but I thought that this was her gesture was kind of a condonment of that action, and there should be more of those kind of happenings. Let's say that was how I interpreted it, and I might be wrong, but yeah, I think it's very different.
It's different. I agree with you. And for Demon
Well, the
Soul's
teacher
comment
has an
about
ethics clause.
George Floyd.
No, what you say, Miss?
Go ahead.
Oh, I said teachers have an ethics clause also. So that's also
Of course.
they have to follow, whereas the college student does not,
I just think that, but if the college student, I mean, I can show you guys so many clips of what these college students were saying and doing. And if they felt that went against their violence cause and the things that they stand for, they have the right to expel you.
I agree.
Right, but it should be up to the school, not to the governor, to be doing a man.
Well, he asked for it, but the school made the ultimate decision. And I showed one clip, but there was a lot of.
Did they expel him?
He got kicked out of school.
Okay.
I don't know if
it'll be an HBCU waiting to let him in with a scholarship.
Yeah, like he could go. Good morning, Joe. He could go somewhere else, but that school didn't want him. So yes, they did kick him out. Let me.
Now, if the government, if the governor suggested that he get expelled, I could see that might be a case against his civil rights. So free speech.
I would agree.
Yeah, that's the instance of the government trying to silence you. I'm not sure. Yeah.
So I'm just going to ask a question now because I don't know what's up and down in this, but your education system, is not. Does that have any connection to government policies? Any?
Yes, yes, in a way, because they're backed by the United States Treasury. All the loans that students take out aren't from like a private bank; they're from the United States government, and they
Okay.
make 6.8% interest off of all those student loan debt. So I don't know if that answers your question, but
But not no you know, a superior um, uh, what do you call it?
Yep.
Um, there's not like a certain set of things that you have to have within your teachings.
I want to go back. Mr. Casino, you finally made one video I agreed with, and that was your Drewski and Erica Kirk video. I actually liked the whole video. I wasn't going off on you during that video. Good job, man. Okay, so Claude. So okay, Demon, so you made a comparison and talked about George Floyd. And here's my problem. Because I was talking about people mocking Charlie Kirk that I felt was wrong. But that does not mean that I thought it was wrong that George Floyd. Who'd you say? You said George Floyd, right?
George Floyd.
Yeah, people were mocking
I
the
did.
choking.
Okay, if people were mocking it, I didn't see it.
Oh.
But I know that people have spoken about it. None of it's right. None of it's right. So just because I'm speaking about Charlie Kirk, because we're talking about Erica Kirk, it doesn't mean that I feel that anytime you mock somebody who's lost their life, then that says more about you than the other person. That's like a humanity thing. This world is just getting colder, and it's wrong.
But it was on topic because you didn't see the outrage of people losing their jobs and getting, like, you know how Twitter get behind people and get them fired, like, for their comments and stuff like that. That wasn't this huge mass thing. I was bringing it up because of the reactions and the swift justice that was given when people were fired and things. I was saying that wasn't happening during.
So nobody lost their life over. Good morning, Black Pearl. Nobody lost their life. I mean, lost their life. Lord.
Not that I know of. It wasn't in mass. It wasn't mass attention like this stuff when they was doing those multi-firings, because these firings from Charlie Kirk, remember, they were very swift. It was like boom, 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 boom. No, I never heard of anything like that with George Floyd. I don't know if people might not have called people's jobs in town or something and said something. I mean, who knows? I can't predict that. But yeah, but I didn't see the mass thing like it was with Charlie. No.
Okay, maybe. Well, I don't know.
Because they said he was a drug addict and he deserved it, and that he had prior other things because of his habits, and then because of him using fake money, that he deserved it.
You know who one of those
I've
people
never heard
was,
that.
right? Candace Owens was one of those people who said
right.
That
okay, let me speak. Let me say this. I'll look it up. Let me say this. Numerous people have, across various industries, were fired or faced severe professional consequences for making controversial, racist, or inflammatory comments criticizing George Floyd in May of 2020.
Well, that's all fine in hindsight, but it wasn't publicized like that.
But no, some of it. So reality TV stars now. When that stuff was happening, I was more in tune with it. And it's been since 2020, so yeah, I did have to relook some stuff up. But some of the stuff that I'm seeing online, there were police officers that faced backlash. Now, what I can say, agreeing with Demon Soul, is that did we see the public cry as far as what's happening with Charlie Kirk? No, I won't say that. But there were people that lost their jobs, and they were like professional people. And there was backlash because people did talk about George Floyd's background and the drugs and all those kind of things. Nevertheless, mocking anybody's death is extremely distasteful. Am I still sticking with Trump? See, that's why I take back my compliment, Christina, because listen. I spoke too soon. Good night, 23 B-Rad. It's good to see you. I stick with the truth. I stick with our commander-in-chief. Nobody criticized when I was complimenting Obama. Nobody criticized when I was speaking about Obama being in office. I didn't get any backlash. Donald Trump is all of our president, and I just talk about things that's happening in our country and in the world. So if you don't stick with that, with your comments about Iran and all the other problematic things that you talk about, your rage baiting conversations for your channel, I don't really understand. But I stick with what's the truth. But again, I compliment you on that one video, and the rest of it, I don't understand where you're coming from.
Run, Carthena.
You guys didn't have any problems when I was talking about Obama. You guys didn't have any problems when I was talking about Michelle.
No, you were doing the right thing.
And I covered Jasmine Crockett. You guys didn't have a problem with that. But because I'm talking about Donald Trump and
well, I had a problem with the Jasmine Crockett coverage, not the coverage, but the comment section.
Okay, but I still covered her.
Right, you did.
Okay.
But the difference between Charlie Kirk and George Floyd is kind of, well, the different circumstances. No, the police didn't go there to kill George Floyd.
Oh yes, he did.
Well,
came there to goddamn kill him. They knew each other.
They absolutely wanted to kill this man. It was a disgrace. It was brutality. It was an absolute disgrace. You cannot have anybody in a chokehold for that amount of time and not think they were going to kill.
No. But listen. No. I think you're taking this way too far. The reason I'm saying this is because they're called out to a situation. This is not a situation. Charlie is not sitting in a situation, and this is premeditated. This is planned. So whatever happens with the police, I agree. This is horrible. So it's not that I'm diminishing in any way.
No, I got what you're saying.
Okay. So that's why I think the outcry and the reactions are different, because when you had George Floyd, there was an immediate aftermath where people really took to the streets. You didn't see that with Charlie Kirk. So well, you did a little bit, but that was not the central issue why people were in the streets.
Yeah, because I feel like it is different, because in the Charlie Kirk situation, the first reaction of the public was that he was killed by a lone gunman, not by the government, the police. So the public's going to have a different outcry, if it comes at the hands of the police and our government versus some crazy person, right?
Good point, Sterling. And they lied, saying that Iran is not going to. Let me stay focused. See, look at Carcino causing division in the chat. Look at Carcino. Iran is not winning any war. Let me make a comment about this thing. So the thing that happened with Charlie Kirk, that happening in public with no regard to other people around, because anybody could have got harmed in that situation, right? What if he missed? What if there was somebody too close? I mean, that was really freaky. What happened with George Floyd at the hands of
did you see that girl who watched him take his last breath and kept screaming for the trauma she gonna have for the rest of her motherfucking life?
Exactly. Very true.
So it was a risk to the public, because if anybody would have intervened, like people would want their natural instincts too, they would have met the same fate possibly. Like they put public at risk by being so reckless like that.
Thank you.
And then they lost the trust in their police.
Happening at a college campus where they're not coming there. They're going there to debate Charlie Kirk, maybe to be on his podcast, maybe to...
And somebody was going there to get a Coke Zero. That girl might have been going there to get a Coke Zero like me, and going there and get her Coke Zero, and then she got trauma for the rest of her life because she pleaded to the people who sworn to protect her to please stop. Nobody would listen. She watching the man call out for his mama.
Right.
Oh, God.
Right. And I want to make one more point. I think we agreed that we should never celebrate, the death of another person, something like that in violence, especially. But, if we're going to be devil's advocate, I'm sure we could point to, let's say, the Ayatollah of Iran, right? And Trump, they came out and celebrated his death, bragged about it, even though he was not convicted of any crime. So how do we square
Who was
that
that?
circle?
Who's that talking? Sterling. Who did we celebrate?
The leader of Iran that we killed.
Khamenei, Ayatollah Khamenei.
I
I
mean,
mean, yeah,
by you're not gonna. I'm not gonna cry for another country, but I'm gonna say this. I think that. I think that.
It's so funny.
Oh, I'm trying to be as diplomatic as possible. We're in war right now, and okay, listen. I want
But,
to feel
but
sympathy for people. I do want to feel sympathy for people, but it's got to be real sympathy. I feel like this. Um, George Floyd that we were talking about, horrible. I'm not gonna compare it to United States bombing Iran because that y'all getting way off with that. Charlie Kirk, I'm gonna say horrible. I think that people are gonna feel different reactions when you're talking about both. We've been talking about the police and excessive force about it, and that happened in broad daylight. But what happened with Charlie Kirk, I think that anytime tragedy happens, it's really important not to compare and not to say what's better or what's worse, and just look at it for what it is.
You're
And
right.
they're both tragic incidents, and
yeah,
but the killing of the Ayatollah wasn't tragic.
what I
no,
said was, if you're wanting my heart to bleed over that, the way that I feel the sympathy over George Floyd and Charlie Kirk, I'm not gonna have the same reaction. I feel that that's something different. Anytime somebody loses their life, I apologize. I apologize if I don't seem sympathetic, but we are in war. I'm America first, and I want America to win the war. I think that
Sterling.
off subject.
Sterling, Khamenei was responsible for I don't know how many American deaths.
But
Uh,
Sterling isn't a Sterling wants to do what other people are doing and paint these people as harmless. And that person that lost his life, like I said, I'm not going to go crying. We're in war right now. This
no, I
person,
think,
this person has caused other people to lose their life.
yeah, I
George
think
Floyd
Sterling was trying
deserves
to
not
just make a
anybody's
principle.
life. They haven't taken
We
it.
play devil's advocate.
You want
Right?
me to feel sorry for somebody that has and that lost their life in return? I just can't give it some of you. And that's why I say sometimes it's hard for me to have panels because then I have to listen to other ridiculous things that come from the other side. Listen, it's not the same.
No,
Oh, what's wrong with you?
No, say what you really
Yeah.
mean.
Yeah, I'm not offended by that. That's okay. I was just posing a question, like,
Hey, man, devil's
and
advocate.
yeah, and like, why did I still don't understand why we had to kill that guy. I don't understand who he killed to answer the question. Like you were saying, I don't know how many people. Yeah, I don't either. I'd like to know. As far as I know, he was an 86-year-old grandpa, great grandfather, who had already put out a fatwa that said we cannot make nuclear weapons. So he had already made the ruling that his country wouldn't be allowed to do that. And for some reason, we still did it, and we still are happy about it and bragged about it. The regime change. I don't get it.
I'm really happy about it. And I can tell you 90% of the Iranian people are happy about Khamenei losing his life and the possibility that the regime will fall. 90%.
So
Sorry.
90%. If it was
Yeah.
90 people against him, it seems like they would have rose up and done it themselves.
So when when they went on to the streets and protested, internet was shut down. No access to foreign media, anything. They killed about 30,000 people, put them in body bags, threw them out onto the streets. This is as a warning that you need to quiet down and go back to your homes. This is
Oh,
what the Iranians did. And
okay.
this is not something that is informed by your media. It pretty much isn't informed by our media either. You need to know who to talk to. You need to go to the right places and find out what's actually going on. The
Sure.
Iranians hate the Islamic regime.
They
They
didn't even
hate it.
the person this person is responsible for so much, Sterling, and that's some of the things when people are saying, why did the United States do this, why did the United States do that, I find it problematic that people don't do their research on these people. Look at his history there, and his and the what he's responsible for, the blood that's at his hands, instead of, well, why did the United States do this to this old man? That old man was not harmless. The United States, it's so. I could do a full stream on the leaders in Iran and our history with the United States and the conflict there. And I just think that sometimes when the United States does something, then it's just so is the criticism that comes from people.
You know,
To me,
you
it's
know
just
the
4-hour video
hard to
that could be done there.
tolerate for me. It's hard. It's hard.
you know the two bombers in New York a couple of weeks ago.
The what?
The two bombers in New York a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, okay. I heard about
Yeah,
that.
there's about a 70% chance that they were funded in some way within an organization by Iran.
A 70% chance.
Yeah, something. That's my assessment. Something like that, because
Okay.
Iran has its money weaved into every single terrorist organization. Hamas, Hezbollah, Islamic Jihad, um, the Muslim Brotherhood. I could go on and on and on.
So, are you saying that Iran may have funded a terrorist act that happened in
Yes.
the United States after
Yes.
we started a war with them and invaded their
Yes,
country?
and you can almost be sure that Iran also had something to do with 9/11.
Really? Okay. Well.
Yeah.
Oh God, I didn't know that.
No, but it's because it's so intertwined. Or what do you say? It's so complex, and the thing that Iran has masterfully done is that I had this discussion the other day with, I can't remember who it was, and he said, well, Iran has never attacked anyone. And but you're right. You're kind of right, but you're also very wrong, because the US goes to Iran and attacks. That's US policy. That's the American flag behind the president saying we're gonna bomb you. We're going to war with you. But Iran doesn't do it like that. They use their money to arm themselves more and more, seeking the nuclear bomb, and in the background they're funneling money to terrorist organizations that do their bidding. So you say, well, they haven't attacked, but really they haven't. They have.
So they attacked us once we were at war, and we attacked them first. It seems like, but like you were saying, you gave a good example of people dying in the streets that were Iranians, allegedly, and
Yeah.
we don't know a lot about it, because allegedly they did cut off the internet, and then allegedly the United States and Israel attacked their internet infrastructures so that it couldn't come back on.
No,
Yeah,
the
okay.
Iranians shut it down.
That's what I said. But then
Yeah.
that's what allegedly they shut it down for the protest. But then in the days later, the US and Israel bombed their infrastructure so that they can't have internet.
Yeah, well, that's what you do. That's the first thing you do when you're at war. That's you take out communications. That's the first thing you do in war.
I think that, bombing infrastructure would be a war crime as far as I know. But like, again, I think you would only do that if you didn't want the world to find out what you were doing and what was going on there. The person who says, hey, cut out the internet, cut out the lights, as soon as they show up, is the aggressor and has, the bad motives, I would say.
Well, they haven't shut off power plants, for electricity. They haven't bombed water reserves.
Like
So communications, that's a different thing, because that's what you do in war.
and
That was what what?
what about bridges, hospitals, schools,
No,
police?
not hospitals, not schools, bridges, maybe bridges,
Okay, yeah.
because that's a supply route. You need to take care of supply routes and information routes. That's
I
what you
just
do in war.
Yeah, I just don't. I still don't know like how Iran ever posed a danger to us. I don't know how many Americans they allegedly killed. I don't know when they attacked us offensively. I think we have history since like 1953 of toppling their leader. All the way back in 1953, our
Yeah,
CIA toppled their leader, and that's what set off the last 75 years.
yeah, and it's become a big problem. And it's not only a U.S. problem. It's a world problem. So I'm very happy that you're going into Iran at the moment, and I'm very angry with my own government not sending ships to the Strait of Hormuz. I'm very angry with them, because then they just pointed the finger to Trump and saying, oh, he's a horrible man. No, he's correct. And I know Israel is within this also, but they're gonna be the first country to feel the bomb if Iran got the bomb, and it's just gonna empower the Islamic regime.
I mean, from what I understand, they were years away from getting that bomb and being able to strike a long distance missile.
Okay,
Years away,
they had
I'm sorry.
Kimani was responsible for trying to make long range missiles. They weren't there. The reason why they're years away is because we keep bombing their facilities. But go ahead.
they
That's
had
it.
they had 500 kilograms of enriched 60% enriched uranium. And it takes weeks from 60% to enrich to 90%. It takes a long time from 0 to 60. That's the vast amount of time it takes. But from 60 onward, it's very quick. And Iran didn't need a bomb reaching further than Israel at first. And that's the problem. Because then you see the world power dynamic completely change. And you already have the BRICS countries challenging the world order.
Okay. Okay. That's
So
interesting. I still.
NATO as a whole should help the US get this under control, help change that regime, and the Iranian people can revert to a positive life, a free life, and the US can bring its soldiers home, and yeah, we'll see what happens next. But this is a job that has to be done now.
I'm kind of confused about what the job is, though. Because like at first, it was about the nuclear weapons, which
Yes.
it turns out they were a long way from developing that to strike us. And then we snuck in a regime change or two. I'm not exactly sure why. When that leader didn't use
So
nuclear weapons, he had put out a fatwa against it. Yeah, I'm sorry.
well
I
well
did.
well well
It's
you have BRICS, you have the BRICS countries, that you have an allegiance between Iran and Russia, and Russia most certainly has the capability of sending a strike towards the US. They have a new hypersonic long-range missile, about 11, 12,000 kilometers in range. And if Iran and Russia exchange information and know-how, well, then they're within range of striking the US. And I might remind you that in the Islamic regime calls the US the big Satan.
I'm sorry, repeat that.
The Iranian regime calls the United States for the big Satan. You're the big Satan.
It doesn't bother me. It's just words.
Yeah, but you need to understand. For you, it's words. For them, it's not just words. For the terrorists, we preserve life. We love life.
Say what?
In the West, we love life.
Wow. Okay.
We love life, but the terrorists, they love death.
Are we terrorists because we want the death of the Iranians?
We don't. No. We don't want the death of the Iranians. See, that's a misconception. We don't want the death of the Iranians. We want a free Iran with free and prosperous people. That's what we want. The problem is that before 1979, you had a blossoming Iran. It was a place you wanted to actually go on vacation. If you had the money to go on this vacation, if you had a lot of money, you would go to Iran. At least for Europeans. I don't know how it is for Americans, but it used to be that from European perspective. After 79, it became Islamic. There's so much repression in Iran. So much, and people are fed up with it. And you had the what did you call it? We call it the Islamic Spring. We call it that in Denmark. I don't know what you call it. There was a protest movement some years ago, and it was said that, well, this is the Iranians' chance to get out of their oppression, but it never came to fruit. Now they've gone to the what?
I'm sorry, I have to correct you in one. You said,
yeah,
and you're right for the most part. It wasn't the fact that it was Islamic; it was the fact that it was radically Islamic.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, radical Islamic. But you had the Islamic Spring, where people took to the streets and protested the regime, and the hope was, well, at least in Europe and I guess in the US also, that this would bear fruit. It didn't. So now they've taken to the streets again. The Iranians hope, with every sincerity, that US will do the job and finish the job, so they can be set free again. The son of the Shah is living in the US.
What do we need to do out there to finish the job? Like, what's still on the table? Like, I'm unclear as to. Yeah.
You need to get the Islamic regime gone, and you need to put in place probably the Shah's son as a temporary leader until they can sort things out properly.
The Shah's son, probably the Shah's grandson. I mean, remember, the Shah of Iran was ousted in 79, so we're probably talking about the grandson or the great-grandson by now, right?
Yeah, I don't remember. This is, he
that
lives
was
in
back
the US.
in 79.
Yeah, I maybe look that up. Maybe the grandson. I think it's the grandson, probably.
It's either the grandson or the great grandson by this time.
Yeah, it would be the grandson, I think.
I'm gonna
But
have to cut this short soon, folks, because I'm
yeah,
Yeah, I'm getting
he
tired.
lives
But
he lives in the U.S.
plus I gotta get
You been
breakfast
up all
started.
night, MU?
yeah, well, have I been up? No, I actually went to sleep pretty early, which is why, y'all know I come live pretty late though, but I went to sleep early and then I woke up at about like, what time did I wake up? About 2 o'clock, I think. And I came live about, what time? I think I got up about 2 o'clock. Because I've been doing like a lot of stuff. I've been listening to some of the stuff going on with you guys too, a little bit, but I can't handle much over in your sector. But I
Yeah,
just
I'm
been
not completely into it as I used to be either. I still did my court show the other day, but I'm
Oh,
just a
you
little
did?
bit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
some of the stuff that I see, and I think for me, which I know that Justin and Sterling don't know what I'm talking about, but I think some of it is like, I guess when you get to a certain point in your life and you just want more, it's hard to see
Right.
because I know and I'm not trying to get into it because I separated myself a lot from things because what I don't want to happen is a few years to go by and I'm doing the same thing and it's starting to be addicting and it's hard to see some people at such an advanced age doing some of the stuff that they do and being so involved in everybody else's life. And I'm not putting anybody down. It's great. It's great. But to me, when you look back at it, where's that commentary really gonna go though? Like where's it gonna get you? I don't understand. Like I don't know. And I just can't get caught up on what other people are doing because then I'm not focusing on MU's life. I'm not focusing on the things that I need to do to be a good person, as take care of my family, to earn a great income. I can't do that if I'm wrapped into this rabbit hole. But I'll peek my head in, but I can't stay because then it's like, damn, then I'm too involved. And I lose track of my goals. There's just a lot. But nevertheless, I always support you. I always try to when you go live, I try to go over there and support what you're doing because it is interesting. But I have a lot on my plate with school and with working. That I got my studio. I got a lot on my plate, so I don't have that much time. But
You
what I
working on the
like about
studio?
you, my dance studio, yeah. But what I like about you, though, is that I do enjoy your shows. I don't know what's going on anymore, but as far as entertaining, I like it, and I like that you have your family, and I know that background about you, so I'm like that gives me that's like a lot of substance there. We've talked about that,
Right. Thank
that
you. Yeah.
you have a lot, and going back a little bit on the subject, when you brought up George Floyd and things like that, I'm not surprised you brought up George Floyd because we've spoken about colorism, we spoke about uncomfortable things. I've led those conversations because of how people are gaslit into thinking, oh, these things don't really happen. I think it's all important. Um, George Floyd losing his life, Charlie Kirk losing his life. Colorism exists, not saying that it doesn't exist. Racism exists, but that exists within people. I don't think any particular group of people is any kind of way. I just think it's important to call it out when it happens. I hope that makes sense.
Definitely.
Yeah, I hope it makes sense. Yeah. Davidson and I have had a lot of conversations about things, and I know she doesn't agree with a lot of the things that I say, but we've had conversations about it. And I think that's more important than anything else is having these conversations.
Right. Even uncomfortable conversations is I think is how
Yeah, I
things
agree.
and plus
And
you
I appreciate you letting me
understand.
come up and speak my opinions.
Always, Sterling. And don't let my feistiness get to you. Like, I am outspoken when it comes to certain things. But it doesn't mean you can't speak, and I don't disagree with you. And sometimes you'll say, not you, but people will say something, and then I'll go back later and I'm like, wait a minute, let me go back and listen to that again.
But not me. I like how you said that.
No, I meant like not you in particular,
Yeah.
but I mean like you said things, Sterling, that I was just like, oh, okay. Nothing with Iran I agree with you about, but I do agree with some of the things that you were saying about, Nick Cannon and Charlie Kirk. And I agree with a lot of the things, but it's not for me to agree with everything that you say. It's for me to listen to you, and then we find a common ground. Mm-hmm.
Sure, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Deliberation.
And I'm not saying anything bad about I'm not saying anything bad like that, even so my only point was that because I got so much on my plate that when you're trying to listen to something, if you can't follow the people, you don't know the people, you just get lost. And so for me, it's like
Right. When you're away from it for a while, you do come back to like a
Yeah,
lot of
and I
like,
feel like that's a problem with
that was my point, Demi. So like, because I've been away so much, so it's easier. I was actually gonna message you the other day to see how you were doing, but I get so caught up, and when I do poke my head in, either I don't read the room, and then I find myself in the middle of some commentary I don't want anything to do with, because I just drop down and say hi, and I don't know what's going on. But with you, I don't have to really know what's going on because you're just doing a court case, so I can just listen and have no opinion and be entertained. Because I'm gonna support you no matter what your commentary is.
oh, thank you, MU. That's why I try to come over here and support you too.
And that means a lot because I know how you feel about things. But I do appreciate the ones that don't make me choose. I had got into a conversation the other day from someone, 2 people to be exact, 2 people, and I was like, "What? Number one, I've lost friends over my political stance, even though you guys met me this way. But I think what hurts people the most is that if you put me in a position like this person did in these messages to choose, hear me now, you guys that's in my chat, because you can hit the unsubscribe button. I'm not going to choose for you. I'm not going to change my political stance. I will change my views on some things that's happening. But if you want me to choose and say, you know what, I can't be friends with you because you're Republican, you're going to lose every time. So you might as well just stop messaging me and sending me these videos, because I'd rather be who I am than be friends with somebody else that wants me to change who I am to make them happy. I'm not going to do it. You're going to lose. You're going to lose. And another person is listening to my commentary right now, probably beating up the phone, trying to text me. You're already blocked. Because they just sit there watching me and send me videos about what I'm talking about.
Oh my God.
Exactly. And I know why these content creators do it. They're either wanting to make commentary about it later. That's why I don't have too many friends as content creators. But I think that it's wrong. That's like me. You tell me that you're Democrat, and that's a small part of you. You tell me that you vote this way. I'm not gonna send you a bunch of Trump videos telling you why you shouldn't vote that way. So don't do it to me, because I had another person that said that what did they say? They couldn't come into my chat. Actually, it's on it's on my community wall. I like you and you're so pretty, but I can no longer support you because I didn't know you supported Donald Trump. Bye. Bye. What is your purpose of leaving that message? But to the person that sent me all these videos and that's messaging me, I had 2 people the other day just messaging me, telling me that I was wrong, and I was just like, I can't believe that you were ever my friend, because friends shouldn't control another friend. Like, you've got to let me be who I am, and I'm gonna let you be who you are.
Can I correct Claude for 1 second?
Yeah, I'm sorry for my rant.
It is his son, his eldest son. Just so you know.
It
He was
was
the eldest?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
born in '60. So it
Oh,
was, yeah. Just so, because I was pretty sure. Yeah,
yeah, because I
that was
thought
that.
the Shaw was pretty old himself when,
It was.
yeah, wow. But then again,
Sorry.
probably, no.
No. It's sorry to MU. I just had to get that
Oh,
one off my chest.
Oh, you don't have to apologize. You
But
don't
you
have to
had such a
apologize.
nice flow.
I was on a rampage right now because I started thinking about these messages that people were sending me, and I'm like, I think that I came across this too early beginning. I was way too accessible because I really didn't know. I thought everybody was good people, but man, I get so many videos. I know that there's problems within the Trump administration. I know that there's problems in the United States. We still live in a great country. I still love my country, and I'm gonna support whomever is in office, you guys. In 2028, JD Vance or whomever wins, I'll be making commentary about them too.
And you have an advantage in the US that we don't have in Europe anywhere.
What's that?
You have, if you elect a leader that you do not like, that you hate and you want to be gone, you have the ability and the possibility to take up arms and go against the government. We don't have that here.
I do not like that at all. I think that's problematic. I think that people take advantage of that. We had the No Kings protest here this last Saturday. And normally I film it for you guys, but ever since that lady flipped me off the last time I went to the No Kings protest, and she was very aggressive towards me, and I was just like, wow, this is supposed to be a peaceful protest. She wasn't peaceful. I find it problematic. What are they protesting? And why are they dressed like Teletubbies?
Because they don't understand. Because if you actually sat down and had
you got Statue of Liberties, Teletubbies, fairies telling me how upset they were, but that lady that put me off as I was trying to show my support for the, I wanted to understand what they were protesting, and one person I was talking to was like, "Wait a minute, aren't you?" I guess they saw a couple of my videos, and so that's a little awkward. But I did an interview with them. They were definitely from the left, definitely a part of the LGBTQIA community. But after talking to them, we ended up friends, and they subscribed to my channel, and
Yeah, that's because you were willing to have a discussion.
Look at Claude. Claude, I am always willing to have a conversation, but are they willing to have a conversation with me? Are they wanting to talk at me? Vegas girl, good morning. It's good to see you in the chat.
That's because of your charming personality.
Claude, now you know that lady flips me off. Oh, she's with her boo. You know that lady flips me off. And I was there. I wore a blue shirt.
I'm sorry.
What happened?
She had to be about 70 years old. And I was just like, ma'am, excuse me? But
well, you can seek peace and that the last idiot hasn't been born yet.
I seek peace. I seek peace when I go to these meetings. I seek peace when I go to the town hall meetings. And,
not you wore blue. I know you did.
Yes, I wore blue.
Oh Lord.
To blend in. And I did some interviews and I spoke to them and I felt like part of the people. I really, really enjoyed myself there.
There are ways to,
I did not agree with anything that they said at all. And but when you're out there interviewing, it's more about what's happening I'm in the Coachella Valley, right? So it's more about what's happening in the Coachella Valley. I can't agree with a lot of the things that they were saying, and the outfits were very distracting, but the people, besides that old lady that flipped me off, were really nice. The people were really nice. Colin, you're laughing, but there's no need for that.
You're really stuck on this old lady.
Huh?
You're really stuck on this old lady.
Yeah, that wasn't a good look. At the No Kings protest, what was interesting is that so when the Republicans drove by, they went crazy. And so I was happy to see them because I felt like I had people that, that I could relate to, but I didn't dare run up to them. I ran up to one of them, but the Democrats started to yell at the car, wanted to throw things, and the police had to tell them that, no, they have a right to be here too. But they didn't get off their cars. They just drove by peacefully. They had flags. I wanted to put a flag outside my house, but can you believe the HOA said no?
That doesn't surprise me.
Crazy.
Look Claude's trying not to laugh. You guys don't know. Claude
But
is.
that's crazy. That's why you should have been able to have your American flag. That's insane.
They won't let me put up American flag.
That makes no sense.
I know. And I
I have
won't
to,
put it on my brand new car. I won't put it on my car, but I
I have
want.
to side with you on that. We've agreed more than twice in one day. This is amazing.
I can't put my face on American flag because that's illegal. You can't have like your face on the flag like that. Did you know that? But I would love to have an MU flag outside my house. Claude.
Well,
Honest,
I have a niece. Can put her to work.
you have a niece? Is this?
Yeah, a couple of nieces. They are very creative, so we could put them to work. Take a snapshot of you, and hand it to them, and let them work their magic.
I've been trying to get an MU mug. I would love to have. You see how I like these big mugs? My other one broke. Remember, Claude, with my glass?
Yeah.
I'm so sad. And so, if anybody wants to give me a mug, MU does take gifts. I take all gifts and donations.
Okay.
I have to make sure to get you a mug.
Huh? But I really want you know why I like big mugs is because I drink a lot of water. And I need a certain amount of collagen when I'm having these conversations because I get so stressed out and I want my skin to stay nice when I'm stressed out. And so I put a lot of collagen in these water. I live in the desert and I get so thirsty, but I drink a lot of water. And I do appreciate you guys that support my channel. You guys send me donations. You guys leave me comments in my comment section and let me know that I'm not alone. And I appreciate you guys. Appreciate you guys.
Do you have any merch, MU?
I'm working on it. I'm working on, but see, here's the thing. So I was working on some merch. My conflict is this. I don't know if you guys remember. I didn't start off making political commentary. I wanted to make merch, but I'm leaning towards sobriety type stuff. And so I'm not sure if I should start with this channel because I don't do sobriety over here anymore, or if I should make merch for my Sobriety Matters channel because my original commentary wasn't politics, it was sobriety stuff, and that's really where my heart is. My heart's with politics too, but the merch that I was designing had to do with my original commentary, if that makes sense.
Right. Yeah, I remember
Yeah,
those
so
days.
now I have to rethink the merchandise for my new commentary.
Right. I know a guy who does merch, and he actually does the coffee mug. So
Send them my way. Send them my way.
I'll be glad to. He also makes like these banners like for your intros. I don't know if you have one, like when you start the show, and like an intro and an outro.
Does he do editing? Does he edit?
Yeah.
Is he good, Sterling?
Yes.
Send him my way. We're not just talking about that. I was just talking about an editor because there's so many things. So I have 2 channels, and when I stopped talking about sobriety stuff and y'all know I'm about to hit my 4-month milestone, right? I mean 4 months, my God. My 4-year milestone.
4 years. Yep.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congrats.
Thank you. When I switched that commentary and I started doing this one, I was like, damn, I do miss it a lot. If I had someone that could help me edit, and then because I have to start putting out commentary for 2 channels, and plus I have my TikTok channel, which is growing nicely. Thank you guys that follow me on TikTok. I have a lot to do. I could use someone helping me edit and helping me. If they want to be a part of that, just send me the information. And then I have to do merch for 2 channels.
I'll be glad to.
Yeah. Hopefully he doesn't care if it's conservative stuff because
No.
we will have to start talking about the right is right. The right is right. Right, Claude, would you wear some misunderstood merchandise?
Actually, yes, I would. I actually would. Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah,
But I offered you didn't I offer you a no. Okay, I'll come up with something. But if he wants to help, that's fine. You guys, I joke a lot. I don't care if you're from the right or the left or you're the other one. I just think you got to be
The other one.
huh? What?
The right,
I
the left,
don't,
or
I
the other one.
apologize. I'll mute myself.
I don't understand liberals. I don't understand them.
I
I
don't
can
either.
understand independence. Some people would
I'm
consider
independent. I'm not liberal. I'm an
But
independent thinker.
but see, that's the whole problem. You know, you don't understand in you have no understanding of what you're against. See, you need to understand where they come from, because sometimes you need to, give some concessions
oh,
I
in a.
sorry.
understand right and
You
wrong.
took it, you
That's
took it
it.
literal. No, I do understand liberals. What I mean is I don't understand how people can be liberal. But I live in California. It's a very,
Ah,
very liberal state.
The
I
most
do
liberal
understand.
place in America.
I guess I'm
yeah, in the world.
I think that people don't realize that when you're voting for a president, whether you call yourself independent, whatever, it's going to be a Republican or a Democratic president. You're not going to have a liberal there because they support the major parties, right? Whether they're liberal, left, whatever. It's going to be a Republican or a Democrat. So that's why I usually just focus on those two parties.
She thinks I'm left leaning. I'm more conservative than she realizes, but she doesn't want to see it that way. But it's okay.
It's not for me to judge you. I do not think anything about you. Just like if I told you guys I was independent too, would you believe that, or would you make your own opinion? Like,
We know better.
Yeah.
I don't see an awful lot of difference between you and Claude. I no, but because this is always it comes down to this one person.
Oh, say that again, please. I just
It boils down the differences between you boil down to this one person. That's it. One likes Trump, the other one is not so fond of Trump, and that's fine. But I don't see too much variance in your overall thinking.
But be fair, when Trump has been right, have I not given him credit?
You have.
Uh,
I agree. I agree.
oh man,
Good morning, Demon Soul. Thank you for coming up.
Claude's gonna live on that one for a long time.
I agree with that.
I mess around with you guys a lot, but Sterling, I'm listening to Sterling. I'm like, he makes sense. Besides, the things that he didn't make sense about. Claude, let me clear up so he won't feel picked on. I mean, he rightfully said, "Hey, I don't really understand the conflict with," and I'm saying rightfully because this is what he said, but he don't really understand what happened with Kamani and all those kind of things. Like, he had a good conversation with Justin, and I was like, I can appreciate that versus another person, I won't say their name, that hit my panel and didn't know what the hell they were talking about. And it's kind of easier. A lot of people didn't start following the war with Iran, right? And they and that's okay, because some people don't like that kind of stuff, and some people just want to know more. I want to know more because I don't know everything, right? So you guys help me too. Claude, Justin, and Sterling, I definitely got everything that you guys have said. My only problem with people is when they're sending me clips and they're calling themselves my friend and telling me things like, what, I can't believe I'm friends with a person like you and stuff like that, because I will part ways with you anytime you send me messages like that.
Well, you're lucky. Consider yourself lucky, because you don't want to see what lands in my inbox.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I get a lot of
Yeah,
messages like that. I got a message about, and I know, like, if something happened to my family, people will say things like, have Trump help you, have this and that. And I think that's where politics is wrong. I think that division is only hurting us. And it's okay. The way I started this conversation, let me recap so I can get out of here. I started out this conversation talking about Nick Cannon and the backlash against Nick Cannon for saying what he said about the Democratic Party. He didn't say anything wrong about the Democratic Party. Chili from TLC should not have to say that I do not support, that she doesn't support Donald Trump because she's worried about public backlash. And Amber Rose, I think Amber Rose is kind of a lost soul. So I'll leave her out of the conversation. Nicki Minaj talking about she supports JD Vance and Donald Trump, and then they want to cancel her and deport her. And I think it's wrong for people to assume that because you're black, you have to support the Democratic Party. Everybody
Deport her.
was black, and I mean is black, sorry. And it's problematic to think that if you do not support the Democratic Party because you're black, that's wrong. Because there are black conservatives and there's blacks that stand up for the Republican Party, and it doesn't make us bad people. It just means we stand up for the truth.
I agree with Deborah. Americans rooting for a terroristic country that severely oppresses its people is diabolical. I agree. But you could paint that same picture about Israel, if I'm being honest. So I mean,
I wouldn't go there.
Okay.
Because you will have to define those terms first.
Okay, well, that's fair. And what I noticed is that first of all, she used the term first, and that terroristic and radical never applies to anybody but like Islam and Muslims. It seems like there's no or the left too. There's no radical Christians or Jewish people.
KKK are radical Christians, but go ahead.
Say what now?
I said the KKK is considered radical, quote unquote, Christians, but go ahead.
Yeah, and some people would say, "Oh, but they're not true Christians," and
they're not.
Right, exactly. So, look, I would just say that back in December, Misunderstood, I was on your panel, and you asked like what we would predict for the following year. I don't know if you remember that. And
I remember you being on the panel. I don't really remember the conversations, but I mean per se, because we spoke about different things.
Right, that's fair. But what I predicted was conflict with Venezuela and war with Iran. And I remember you saying, "Well, Sterling, you're fear mongering." And
I remember.
And you also said that we have to have congressional approval for such a war. And I was trying to explain like how we would do it without calling it a war, without having Congress vote on it. And we're right there. We're right there with what I said. So if anything, Misunderstood.
You did say that. You called it out, and as far as I remember, and obviously, and yeah, we're here. So you know more about Iran than I thought, but yeah, we're here today.
Sure.
Without approval of Congress, you're right. Huh?
And
we should have.
Sorry.
No, you go.
One more thing before I go. What I would say is, Misunderstood. You said you in the past you've thought about things that I've said or what other people have said, and you've reflected on it. And I guess today the only thing I would leave you with is like we agreed that celebrating someone's death in a violent way is bad, whether it's on the left or the right. And I would say that should apply to people in foreign countries that are our alleged enemies that haven't been prosecuted. We could easily swoop him up just like we did Maduro and charged him and put him through the court process, but we didn't. And I'm just saying, like, and even though we didn't, we celebrated our government celebrated his death, and that's what I'm saying is that that's something I would reflect on. I'm going to reflect on that.
Thank you, Jerome. Jerome, I appreciate you, friend. Appreciate you and all that you do to help my channel keep going. I appreciate you guys. Thank you, Jerome, so much.
But hey, thanks for having me.
Sterling, before we go, I'm gonna say I appreciate that. I when it comes to him, for me, and I'm gonna sleep on this though. I'm gonna sleep on it. But for me, this person has stated how much he doesn't like America. Those are his words. He's anti-American, anti-Israel. but I'm for the not liking America, any country that says death to America. I'm gonna have problems showing sympathy for it. Now you're saying, we could have arrested him and preserved life. I'll leave it there. I will think on it. I'm not gonna. I'm gonna think on it. When my brain is well rested, I will for a better. But right now, that's where I am. If you say death to America, then it's hard for me to. And what I said was, I didn't say it was. What I said was that the way that I feel towards Charlie Kirk and George Floyd, I'm gonna feel different. Someone that's talking about death of America while we're in the middle of a war. I don't want to have fake sympathy.
That's fair.
But I'll
Thank you
hold my
for.
opinion on it. I'll hold my opinion.
Well, yeah, no, that's fair. Thank you, panel. Thank you, chat. Y'all have a good one.
Thank you for
Yeah,
coming up.
thanks. Sterling.
Always,
Thank
Have
you
fun.
so much.
you know what? With Sterling, honestly though, you guys, and I was a little tired. I appreciate what he brings to a panel and his thoughts, and I enjoyed the dialogue between Justin and Sterling because I actually learned a lot from both of them. I did.
These things are so complicated, and need a better backstory. So those topics should be that should be made place uh, for those kind of topics like you do, because the outset was what my brain's right. So what the comedian's name
Which one?
we talked, the one
Drewski?
we what?
Drewski, the one that
Yeah,
did the
no, no,
thing?
no, no. The other one that interviewed and one we started with watching. So might have been Drewski making the
What,
video,
Nick
but
Cannon?
Nick Cannon, exactly. So the outset was the Nick Cannon reaction, and that's fine. And we can contain, things into that. But whenever we dive off to Iran and other things, well, those topics are much more complicated and need much more time to explain. Because if we keep treating things on the surface level, we're not doing anybody any favors. And that's why I like being here, because you keep reversing to the get go. So what was the original intention with this panel or this talk? And that's excellent, and that's why I like coming here, because you offer evidence and we talk about evidence. But whenever we turn right onto something, well, something I might be very passionate about, and then I'm just going one way, and well, that demands kind of time.
I love you being here. I appreciate you. I appreciate it, Claude. I'm gonna crash, but I do appreciate what you bring, Justin, and your feedback is really important to me. If there's ever things that you guys want me to do, or you're like, hey, do this a little differently, I'm still growing. I'm more than open to suggestions. So as I go to sleep, you guys, I do appreciate you guys for coming, and don't take me too seriously when I'm kind of like picking you guys apart and stuff like that. I'm playing with you guys, but you
I'm
know,
tough skin.
Used to it.
what?
I said I'm used to it.
I'm trying.
And I kind of like it.
Oh, it's fine.
Justin. I can be a little feisty, but it's just that I love this country so much, and I hate hearing people. And I'm gonna go to bed right after I say this, but when I was listening to Roland Martin and other left wing commentators, I hate how they demonize the Republican Party. I hate their ignorance. and the stupid things that they say, and hiding behind a color and making it seem as anybody that's your color voting for Donald Trump is a disgrace, and they use all these derogatory words. I find that very problematic, and I'll leave that thought there. There's nothing wrong with people seeing things done the same way year after year and changing their mind and switching parties. There's nothing wrong with it. And I'm going to continue to stand for it.
On that note, I definitely have to get some rest. Well, I won't even be able to. I have to start breakfast. I have to start breakfast.
My little one's gonna be up soon, and I'm gonna cook. But you guys that hung out with me, I appreciate you guys. Thank you guys for hanging out with me in the chat. Jerome, I appreciate you, friend. And Sterling, thank you for coming up. I appreciate you guys. On that note, I will see you guys later.
Take care, everybody.
Yeah, take